Hello and welcome back to Outside the Box, an MLS podcast. We are a bunch of, anxiety-filled homies here. We cannot wait to talk about MLS right now. It is interesting league. I'm really liking how the league is shaping up, guys. It's honestly feeling really good. We're joined by Jeremy Peterman.
Jeremy? It's feeling pretty good for some of us.
Well, I guess
not everybody.
Daniel Schill.
Oh, what's good, fellas?
And we're also joined by Joss, Mr. Joss Bathtub.
Guys, is this cringe?
I mean,
guys, be honest, is that cringe?
Yes. No. It's not cringe when you do it.
There's plenty of other. I mean, we've talked about it. The Marcel Hartel one's a little much. I don't know if I really like it. What's another one? What are some other sellies?
The Jude Bellingham.
Oh yeah. What do you guys think of the Gyökeres one? This one.
Oh, the mask. I think the idea is there. That's about it.
Okay.
It's one of those things where you like watching a game and a pass goes astray, but the commentator goes, "Oh, the idea is right."
I like seeing Arsenal fans do it. I don't know. Oh, sorry. I like seeing Gyökeres do it. I don't know if I like seeing Arsenal fans do it because they're just so. I don't know. Sometimes they look a little goofy, but
yeah,
it was cool at Sporting. It was
yes.
Cool at Sporting.
Okay,
when it goes to Arsenal, it's like, shit. Now these assholes are doing it all the time. They're doing it for like all the penalty kicks that he's scoring. It's like loses the aura.
Yeah,
man. Let's I don't mean to get too far off track, but I always love a good Selly conversation, fellas. Before we get into the slate, though, I would be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about this news. Yeboah and Derek Jones suspended for sports betting. Does anyone have any like immediate thoughts on it? Because I mean, I definitely do, but I'm waiting to hear what everyone else has to say.
Can I take it from the unserious angle first?
Yeah, I mean, this is the outside the box way.
Yes. So, per the investigation, this entire thing came to a head because Derek Jones bet on himself to get a yellow card in a game. And if you look at the actual foul that got him this yellow card, it's a little rough, guys. So, my immediate thought from this, because I am not serious, is if I'm a player trying to bet on myself to get a yellow card, I would simply kick the ball away on every single restart until the referee just tells me you can't do that anymore, which in all likelihood is only after one. If I'm kicking the ball away on one restart, like after the second minute, when there's obviously no need to, the referee should book me immediately, and I've already cashed my own bet I put on myself. So my question is, Derek Jones, why did you have to go in with like an actual tackle and risk like, I don't know, potentially getting a red card? Because that's not going to cash with a red card. I feel like if you're trying to make money off yourself, just go for the easiest way possible that will get you a booking, which is just kicking the ball away. So we'll go from the unserious angle. Does anyone else have any serious thoughts on this? Because
well, I mean, it's crazy because I feel like that was the kind of thing Max Alves was doing, right? Where it was obvious. Because Max Alves was the first to do this. I think that people like to dog on the gambling stuff, and it's definitely permeated like very negatively throughout it permeates very negatively in our world. People, I don't think people can just handle it, right? But then you start getting to the integrity of the sport, where you're like, okay, well, what else are these guys betting on? You know what I mean? Like, are these the only two? Are there more? These are the two that we know of, and it wasn't too long ago also Felipe Hernandez over in SKC. I see his TikToks a lot about, how he is trying to recover from that. It is a very scary thing, I think, sports betting. And when it gets to a point where it is starting to get to players and it's starting to get into the league like this, it's like, where is that line? What do you fellas think, Josh or Daniel?
If I may offer up words from our very own Jeremy Peterman. These suspensions have been brought to you by the DraftKings Sunday Night Soccer Parlay and Poly Market, the official insider trading platform of Major League Soccer. I think that there's no better irony to it. Everything is gambling now. I mean, and when the leagues start being sponsored and there's like a very clear like conflict of interest, these things are bound to happen. Felipe Hernandez, I saw that because somebody brought it up, like, why was he not given a lifetime ban? And it's because I guess he didn't bet on himself to get get yellow cards or anything like that. And so there is a clear difference there because, betting on yourself to do something, like, you control that outcome. And you are then impacting the very like entity that you're playing in, and it just ruins it for everybody. But I think that there needs to be some sort of regulation around canned sport. Like, there's a commercial before every MLS game that's like, let's look at the odds.
And honestly, okay, because I am a betting man, those odds do not line up with the actual money lines of the like, it'll be like plus 100 and they're like 55% chance to win. I'm like, dude, that is literally 50-50. What do you mean 55? Like, they're not even right. Oh,
yeah.
Makes me angry for all the wrong reasons.
These things this was always going to happen as soon as we let it permeate, and we didn't really regulate anything in sports betting beyond just like, hey, it's legal now. Hey, like, that's basically all that they've been able to do. So I don't think the investigative software is there. I don't think that we don't have a setup for sports betting to succeed, especially when it's permeated and becomes sponsors of our leagues.
Daniel, any thoughts?
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's really the big takeaway from it. I mean, gambling's been an issue, since Juventus got caught doing it in Italy forever ago and had to get relegated because of it. So I think it's one of those things where you're always going to have bad actors doing dumb things. I do think the really good point of they're the only ones who got caught, right? When I see any crime, I think, okay, those are just the people that got caught. There's a lot more people doing it. I don't know if we have the software to detect it, like Josh said, but I don't really know how you stop it to some degree. It's just bad, and if you see it, you gotta reject it because there's no place for that in our sport. The same way there's no place for it in the NFL, NHL, MLB, when all those people have the same exact resource to be able to do the same thing. It's just one of those things that should always be treated as unacceptable for sure. So yeah, I'm glad you got a lifetime ban. See ya, buddy. Later, bozo.
Yaya Boa, scorer of the 2023 MLS Cup final goal. Was it 23?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sick finish too. I mean, they're gonna effectively Chris Benoit him out of the highlights. But fellas, let's talk about some of the soccer on the field. And to put the wrap on the gambling thing, I say that as a willing participant in the MLS gambling. I am a fiend, so sorry about that. Let's talk about the slate though, because this was an interesting weekend of MLS soccer. Last weekend, I had a lot to say, and this week, I think a lot of what I would have said would have been proven wrong. But then, I was about to hype the fuck out of the Red Bulls last week, and I still will. I will say one thing that has really resonated throughout watching these games and throughout seeing how everybody plays is we're in a new era of MLS. I know we always like to, get like Messi era or MLS 4.0, 5.0, whatever it may be. I think if you can't get the big name stars like a Muller, like the Anders Dreyer or a Messi or Son, you have to then find a youth product that is going to just provide like in the immediate. And if you don't have that, I think those teams that don't have a youth initiative, because I think the kids of nowadays for MLS are playing at an insane level. Honestly, like I can't remember the last time we've had a crop of young talent in the league, all hungry to. I mean, it always comes to, do they go to Europe? Do they go to South America? Do they get sold off? You know what I mean? Before it was more so like Miggy came into the league, but everyone knew Miggy had a stepping stone to another league, right? It was MLS and then the big league. And nowadays it feels like, man, maybe a lot of these youth players could end up just becoming prevalent MLS stars. And some, of course, I think, we'll get to some of them throughout the slate, but I think some of them are also bound for Europe as well. Let's start with one of those teams, Red Bulls, of course, and the original team that did it with the youngsters to some degree. Our hypothetical Montreal fellas. Montreal got to win on the road. Oh my God. I could not believe my eyes. And it was a great match. I mean, Montreal just man-to-man marked the Red Bulls, and they punked them at home. It was incredible to see. Anyone have what are your guys' immediate thoughts on this one as we wait for Josh to come back?
Daniel, you want to start? I only have a couple of things to say. They're all Montreal related.
I don't want to overreact to anything this early in the season, particularly with how good the Red Bull have looked through the first 3 weeks outside of that game against Montreal.
I love it. The Red Bull.
the Red Bull New York. Man, it's just so tough. Like I thought Horvath looked pretty rough at times, uncertain on the ball. I don't really understand what Cade Cowell does or provides at this point. Outside of like, how has he improved over the last 3 years? How did that move to Mexico actually make him better? He came back and looks like the exact same player that was at San Jose with less confidence. And it's kind of staggering to see. Like, you thought that he'd come back here after dealing with that high press situation and provide more, but you see most of your great moments come from the young guys like Mehmeti and Julian Hall. And I thought he would inject more into that lineup. I have a hard time watching Montreal pretty much with a positive lens on, but it was nice cheering for them, I guess, this past week, knowing that they were going to pull out 3 points. I don't know, man. It's just really weird seeing Matty Longstaff like just floating out there. He's just one of those, where did he come from players. Like, I remember watching him 3 years ago on Newcastle. I was like, this guy's going to be Premier League baller. And he came to Toronto and we're like, holy shit, what happened to him? And now he's doing his thing for Montreal every now and then. You kind of remember he's there. I don't have any crazy takeaways from this. I don't want to panic about anything yet. I would just say, when a lot of your exciting moments come from young players, when you have guys like Cade Cowell, Forsberg, and Choupo-Moting on your team, that's cause for a red flag from me, because if those young players aren't popping off, it's kind of like, okay, you need your veteran presence to step up, and they don't seem to be doing that. But we're only 3 weeks in. Again, not panicking or pumping the brakes on anything yet, just making some general observations from one bad game.
Jeremy, what are your thoughts on Montreal? You said to have had some.
Wiki.
Oh yeah,
I knew you were gonna do that, and I didn't want to do it.
Oh my God! So I belong to the North American Soccer Reporters. Every week, I have the opportunity to vote on Player of the Match Day. Do you have any idea how quickly it took me to just slam the Wickelman Carmona button this weekend? Like, this is like, God, you gotta feel a little bit for Red Bull fans after this one. Some of them were a little bit aggrieved with the way that the penalty that opened the scoring in the 8th minute was awarded. I think it was a penalty.
Yeah, I think it was too.
Yeah, but I think it's a bigger issue when you go down 1-0 in the 8th minute at home and you just cannot find your way to consistently create chances to go ahead. And Montreal, to their credit, knew exactly what they were going to do in this game. But the real gut punch isn't that you lose this game 3-0 at home, is that you lose this game 3-0 at home with a player who gave you nothing but sorrow last year, providing a brace in the second half. A player who literally could not find the goal at all for you last year. So that's the main takeaway. It's why we love this league. And I was going to say cash fur, but this was a GAM trade that brought actually,
Wiki went one way.
Yeah, it was
Marshall
Ruddy going. Yeah, Marshall Ruddy going the other way, which is like, that's a humongous Red Bull win, except in the first time when these two teams meet and the two players that were traded for each other. When the two players that are trading for each other meet up for the first time. So congratulations to Montreal. It's exactly how I would have done it. Just shithouse your way to a victory on the road by playing really strong defense and making the most out of your chances. Does that mean Montreal is good? Probably not. Does that mean Red Bull is good? I think they're fine. But once again, when you build the plane out of kids, you have to accept these moments where they just wobble off. And I will also just wholeheartedly endorse Daniel's Cade Cowell opinion.
You know, I would like to bring up the fact that New York were without a one Ronald Donkor, who last season, if you had told me he would have been the focal piece of this team, I would not have doubted that at all. I mean, I think Ronald Donkor is awesome. I had him lined up as one of my midfielders in fantasy, and of course he was benched entirely. I mean, you had Julian Hall in at his position, and it's like, okay, no Donkor, so where's Berggren? You know what I mean? Because to not even go Berggren here says a lot about how this, maybe that Berggren signing was more of a Sandro Schwartz signing than a Michael Brad. I almost said Bob Bradley, a Michael Bradley, pick, because it's been all New York Red Bulls 2 players for the most part. I mean, even Matthew Dos Santos at fullback ahead of Omar Valencia. I'm shocked at just how quickly the new young players have taken to just become pieces on this team. And so I would like to see this again with Ronald Donkor, but again, I think Montreal just matched up well. And I mean, again, Ethan Horvath, not his best night there. I'm hoping we can get Josh back in here. I don't know where he's still just I don't know if he can hear us or not. Josh.
Yeah. No, I can. Sorry.
There he is.
Weather.
That was crazy.
Weather.
I manifested him.
Whoa! Yeah, sirens are going off.
You
extremely
safe?
Kansas moment. I think so for the most part. But we'll see. I'm watching the weather right now. I'm keeping
because
I got it in another tab type shit.
There's like a tornado warning out there, right?
Yeah, bro. I think it's north of here.
I was surprised the KC game didn't get because there was rumblings it would have. Oh, I can hear it. If you need to step out, you can step out.
I think I'm good, man. I'm like watching the weather. It's all north of me, but because it's in the same county that I'm in, they've activated the sirens and stuff. So little tornado lesson for y'all.
Tornado chasing. That'll be the name of the pod.
Yo, tough.
Any thoughts on Red Bulls or Montreal as your house starts to fly away from you?
My thoughts on Red Bulls in Montreal. Is it possible that Michael Bradley's gotten balder? And if so, how did he do it? I don't know if you guys know the meme where it's like find so and so's hair, and then it would be like it's like Bin Laden's head. It's like fucking it's like the top of Bin Laden's head. It's the top of like Hitler's head, and then I think there should be one for Michael Bradley. It's just like he's just bald as hell. No, I
know exactly what you're talking about.
I was completely I'm glad I don't sound insane. Well, I probably do, but I was completely caught off guard by this result. I threw in a Red Bull player into my fantasy team. I threw in I think it was Hall. I think I threw in Hall in my fantasy team because I'm like, look, it's Montreal, right? They don't play at home. They don't do anything soccer related correctly, but They just went on set piece. Like, it was the set piece. It was like beautiful Italian 90s soccer. And that's beautiful in a lot of ways, where it's like they don't have to control the ball. I think they had like 33% possession, but they won 3-0, and that's gorgeous. And I'm glad to know that we're still able to have beautiful 90s Italian soccer, very clearly different than whatever Arsenal does every day, because that is not beautiful and that is not fun. This is good. This is fun. Montreal, Italian catenaccio, that's fun. Arsenal, not fun. Those are my takes.
I love it. I love it. Fellas, let's move on to Cincinnati and Toronto. Another shock victory on a Sunday evening for a one MLS team that I really want this one to be correct, fellas. Where did I have them again? I gotta see this Cincy pick. I had Cincinnati in 11th as my boldest pick, which is insane. And it's these kinds of results where I'm like, yes, we're on track. Toronto, Daniel, show us the name on the back of that jersey, pal, because I know you have some thoughts on Toronto. Tell us, man, what are you seeing out of Toronto? Because you're hyped.
I'm seeing 3 points against one of Major League Soccer, I guess. What would you guys classify Cincinnati as? I wanted to call them a golden child because their last 2 years of success, but they were fucking horrible. What do we want to call them? The pendulum. Major League Soccer's pendulum.
Yeah.
And it's swinging back to the shit, fellas. I don't know if Toronto's good. I think they're frisky and fun, and I think the addition of Josh Sargent. Do we know when he's officially? Did he pass his medicals? Is he officially coming and planning on playing next week?
I think he should be available for this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's just something so fun about Daniel Shallowy and Josh Sargent up top. Daniel Shallowy gets a goal, and I know Josh is like, what the fuck, man? Like, he goes up to Toronto. And he finally scores a goal, and like, not just a goal, a game-winning goal. Like something Joss has been wanting for years out of Daniel Shallowy. Does it in the 85th minute. It's just something so exciting about that. And Jordy Mihailovic, I don't know if you guys got the same takeaway that I did. Did you guys see I said his name right that time? Last year. Heads and tails better than last year. But no, I don't know if you guys got the same vibe I did out of this year and last year, but Evander last year, we had this running joke that he would take a shot from anywhere and he'd just rip one. Like 30 yards out, doesn't matter. Evander will shoot it. I saw Mihailovic do that 3 to 5 times this past weekend, and I think that's so frisky and fun. I think this team has come a long way in a year. Don't really have a whole lot of things to say about Cincinnati. I'm sure you guys have a couple things that could fill in the gap there, but I mean, if you're a Toronto fan, man, you've been waiting for this for like 5 years. Like, this is what you thought you were getting out of like this kind of like excitement, hype, like, holy shit, we can beat anybody in the East kind of moment outside of maybe the top guys, like that kind of confidence. This is the kind of stuff you were going to get when you signed Lorenzo Insigne, when you signed Federico Bernardeschi, and when you brought in Sean Johnson 4 years ago and you thought you were on top of the world. You had the second most expensive roster. Well, now they have an expensive roster, but they've spread out the money quite a bit, and I think it's making them a lot more fun.
Anyone want to add to that, Jeremy or Joss?
We don't need him, bro. We don't need shot. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. We got Calvin Harris. Okay. I'm actually. It speaks like this Montreal result, the Montreal result, and then the Toronto result. They speak to two things. Firstly, the incredible parity that MLS has, and I think that it's great that teams that aren't expected to get results can waltz in and do so, while also like teams can go through rebuilds successfully, like Toronto is doing. It's clearly doing so. It speaks to the incredible parity that the league has, and also maybe Canada, maybe their sport is soccer. I mean, it's clearly not hockey. We saw the Winter Olympics. Maybe it's soccer instead. That's my take.
That makes me sad.
And I really want to speak upon one thing that we talked about before the pod started recording. But are Cincinnati bad? Is this like their underlying numbers finally from last year catching up to them? What do we think? I mean, they didn't really go out and splash majorly in the offseason, except for Ayub Jabari. Jeremy, I looked right at you on my screen when I said that. You just created 3.7 Ayub Jabaris. And I just are Cincinnati really just like, are we overrating them? And when I say we, I mean me. I have them finishing second in the East this year. I'm such a stupid chud. So I want to be very, very open here and say maybe Cincinnati are bad and maybe hands up, we got it wrong. But I want to hear what you guys think. How bad are Cincinnati, or is this just a blip? Will Noonan still be in the job come November? What do we think?
Oh, shit.
Jeremy. I mean, I
Well-
have fancy thoughts, but I'll let Jeremy.
Well, speaking from someone who had Cincinnati in third preseason, I'm an idiot, but not because I had them in third, because I believed that the strength of this roster was this team's attack. It's actually their defense, which if you watch their goal that they gave up, you'd be like, Jeremy, what the hell are you talking about? Like, Larea just carries the ball forward, cuts this perfect pass into Shallowy, and he just, like, goes far post on Celentano, who keeps looking like a real boy more and more year after year. Sometimes it's the facial hairs, but, like, he's Pinocchio. I firmly believe that when you gave Miles Robinson a DP contract, you significantly limited the upside that this team can have. Now, I like Nick Hagland and I like Gilberto Flores. I think they're both good players. And I do like Celentano, who can be a match-winning goalkeeper on this team. But what happened to Obina Nwodo? That is my big question. They had a elite destroyer in the midfield, not someone who's going to make a ton of things happen on the attacking end, but they had a guy who was one of the best in the league at covering ground, winning the ball back, and that was the last little bit that pushed them over the top and gave them the shield in 2023 when they acquired Mwobodo. So I firmly think that this team's center back unit's fine. This team's goalkeeping unit is fine, but they have a huge hole in the midfield, and they have no ideas when they get the ball and are trying to create a goal, aside from what is Evander going to do, because that's what you do. You have to build the plane around Evander. So I think that it is early season, but given how much of this roster was on the team last year, there is a little bit to be concerned about. However, I do like Brian Ramirez. It's been 3 games of him. I've liked what I've seen from him. I still like Ender Ekenike. So the talent isn't really the problem, but it's like, how does it all like come together? How it's going to come together is still a playoff team, but I think we can kind of start saying they're not going to be top 4, especially with the way that the middle to bottom pack of the East has rapidly started improving.
Yeah, and I'm glad you had touched on that, mostly because there's something about the sorry, the echo threw me off a bit. There's something about these teams at the bottom that had to have a bounce back year. You know what I mean? They had to rebound in some ways. So when I was doing my predictions, I was like, what are 3 teams that can like make room for a team like Toronto to make the playoffs? You know what I mean? And I kept looking at Cincinnati. Just the way they lost in the Eastern semis was very like demoralizing. I think if it was just it was like again, Evander did not show up. That's not a controversial thing to say at all. And they just got whooped by Miami, by the team that seized the moment. And from there, I mean, it was tough because they decided to double down on Pat Noonan, and it felt like, we're just gonna run it back next year. We'll be fine. And no, I know you say you like Brian Ramirez, but I still think they've never replaced Alvaro Barrial. Orellano had that great year the following year, and then his production nosedove. And the thing I didn't get about Cincinnati is they decided to rebuild within a championship window, right? So Nwobodo goes out. Nwobodo sits for Guidi, and I like Guidi. But again, you ship Yedlin off for Marshchuk and Ekanike. Like, it wasn't enough to get Marshchuk. You needed to get Ekanike as well. Brenner is gone. Like, there's just a lot of the talent got stripped from this team mid-season for whatever reason. I don't get it. Toronto did the opposite, right? They knew they were out of the playoffs. Let's start the rebuild early. Let's get a Cifuentes. Let's get a Mihailovic. Let's start, piecing together what this could look like. And now it's looking, Benjamin Kushevich comes in and now Toronto are playing out of their 3-back line, and it's like the old Robin Fraser's here. But this time he's got 2 guys in Shallowy and Mihailovic that'll actually do some stuff on the front end. Now you got Josh Sargent coming in. Like, I think it's very easy to want to say that this Sargent move is going to be a bust, but I really do think, and I'm very, 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 unsure if this is a as correct take, because I don't watch as much, USMNT players abroad. But like, how are you guys feeling about Sargent? Are you guys expecting him to like be worth that fee? I saw someone had it at like his goals like 12.5. Are you going over or under on that number for Sargent?
12.5 goals. Over? Because he'll take penalties?
You're taking the over. Is that too low a number? Are we going to look back on this like, wow, he ended up scoring way more than just 12.5?
No, I think he's going to impact the game, not just with goal scoring. I think he'll be able to be a playmaking type forward too. So it's how well can he marry just all the various attackers that they have around here. But it's also like, could that type of profile be a conflict with Mihailovic, who wants to be the guy in the final third?
I think.
Josh, Daniel?
Go ahead, Josh.
I was going to say, I think not so much about the goals. Sorry, I keep getting texts. Not so much about the goals and whether he'll get more than 12.5. I think he probably will, especially with the penalties, like Jeremy said. But how many goals do you think Toronto's top goal scorer got last season?
6, 7?
You're right. It was 6.
Corbiano?
Yes, it was 6. Corbiano. Yes. So
and he's not even in the team yet. Oh my God. Get Corbiano on this team, bro.
Anything more than that, I mean, the bar is not very high, is the point I'm having to make in terms of production last year. I think there is a lot of expectation. I think with what Sargent had to go through at Norwich to get the move will be a very motivating factor for him. Like, he's been out of the team for a couple of months because he wanted to move, and the team said no, and he said, all right, fuck you guys. I'm American. I don't even like the English that much. So it's in my
no more
blood.
beans and toast, blood.
Yeah, he wants to chill with Drake, not like that, and eat Putin. So I think because of that's all going to be a motivating factor for him, based on what he's had to go through to get the move. So I think he'll be a success because he's got that motivation behind him. Also, it is a World Cup year, and I mean, like it or not, he is in the shouts for going on the plane. So, even though it's not on the plane because all the games are here, getting on the train, we don't have trains. Getting on the single passenger cars, there we go. That's American.
I mean, he is an American in Canada, though.
True. He can get on the train, I guess.
You guys ready to move on to the rest of the slate, or any closing thoughts here?
I'm going to name you 5 MLS championship level strikers, and how many goals you will think will be determined based off where you think he falls into this rankings. Daryl Dike, Emmanuel Latte-Lath, Patrick Adjumane, Josh Sargent. Holy shit, I'm missing one. Sorry, I threw Daryl Dike in there. It was only supposed to be 4, and I forgot the 5th.
Honorary Duncan McGuire.
No, that never happened.
Duncan McGuire in a just world.
Shit. I'm an idiot.
Wait, why are we throwing out the number?
Because it really shows. Oh, Sam Surridge. Those are your 5 championship level strikers that have played in both Major League Soccer.
Champion. Oh, God. I thought you meant like championship winning.
And it falls down to where you think Josh Sargent falls into that. I don't think Josh Sargent is Sam Surridge, but I think he's better than Daryl Dike. I think he's better than Duncan McGuire, because you shouted him out. I think he's better than Emmanuel Latte last. So I certainly think he can score 12.5 plus goals this year for sure. I also think what he's walking into is similar to what like Patrick Adjemain had last year. He's just a different player. Like he's more of a, like he can play as a deep lying playmaker versus Patrick Adjemain is more of that physical presence. You know what I mean? So you're going to get a little bit more out of Josh Sargent in a different capacity, but I think he fits this Toronto lineup maybe just as well as Patrick Adjemain fit that Charlotte, like shithousery, send the ball forward kind of style of play as well.
Well said, man. I can't say I know enough about Sargent. I am just expecting that this is not going to be an Insigne. You know what I mean? But also, let me see Corbianu, because I do, or cash for him, cash for Corbianu. I'll take him at the Rapids. Let's do an experiment here, guys. Everyone, what we do is we rank the games over the weekend that I assigned. Everyone just throw out a number on the count of go, and then we'll see which one edges it out for whether we talk about our first, our second, or our third. So 3, 2, 1, go.
2. Fuck.
Yeah, I want the mids.
We're going with the mids.
Let's get the mids out of the way.
Getting the mids out of the way. I'll start us off. Of course, Box State Footy is where we're hosted on, outside the box, of course. But I'm going to go off with Colorado, LA Galaxy, a game in which I thought the first half was really what you need to see, because the second half, first half, Yappy on an incredible run, scores, showing off his wing play, something we didn't see in Seattle, and didn't see much of it against Portland because he didn't start. But then in the start, he makes good on it, scores here. You go 1-0 at the break, and I if you ever watch Rapids and Wells ball in the way that it should be, it's that first half. I think that first half was the best encapsulation of the team here. And then, because come the second half, LA Galaxy equalized. They kind of bully the ball in. They force their talent down the Rapids' throat. It happens. Klaus, guys, he's on a team now. It's sad to see. I really liked him having to struggle to carry St. Louis. And now, given where St. Louis are going and where the Galaxy seem to be going, I think Klaus ends up looking like the better guy there throughout that. But all that is to say that Paintsill goes down, Peck goes down, and with a red card. And, soon thereafter, the Rapids did what I have been waiting for the Rapids to do, and that's kill a team off. They did so really well, first off a Yappy assist to Manyoma, and then Navajo pouncing on a loose ball and then scoring a great second goal there. But yeah, Rapids 4-1, and it still feels like there's still more to prove just because of that red card. The Galaxy guys, I'm not seeing it Marco Royce anymore. I want to see Sanabria ahead of Royce, because last year I was very unconvinced by Sanabria, and I thought he did really well against Charlotte, even though that Charlotte team was not really playing. Daniel, you got saved from having to, because me and Jeremy watched this one live, and we're like, this is the most fake LA Galaxy win ever. Like, Charlotte just gave it to them. And so I'm glad to see the Rapids expose the Galaxy a bit here. It's going to be interesting to see, no Peck, no Paintsill. What does the Galaxy have after that, right? And so I'll throw it over to you guys. Any thoughts on this one? Anyone want to talk at length about this one?
Is it true the LA Galaxy re-signed Marco Royce to 2027?
They signed Glesnes.
Yes.
That just happened. I don't know about Royce.
They just gave Glesnes a big extension too. I think his is until 2028, which I think is earned considering how bad their backline's been for the last 2 to 3 years. I think he's a good, solid, stable presence, and he's a good spine guy, right?
Yeah, but like, what the hell? He's been there for like 2 days.
He's him.
He just got the keys to the building, and they're like, promotion. You're welcome.
And he's the most accomplished player on their roster already.
True.
Royce, but
and Eric Tommy. Did he come in? Like, what did he come in and was like, here, guys, here's how you defend. And it was just like flashcards, and they were like, oh, is that what happened?
Well,
Like,
here's what I don't
did
get.
he-
Why'd they get Justin Hack, dude?
Thank you.
I'm like, why Glessness and Hack, and you're not even gonna play all three of Yoshida, Hack, and I forgot his name. Well, who we're talking about? Glessness. Duh.
Blessings.
Oh man, the Hack should have been the number one pick for SKC, dude, or Colorado, a team rebuilding, dude. And the LA Galaxy go get him because what? They have the money, man. Fuck, you deserve to like have no attacking game plan once Paintsell and Peck are not available the upcoming week.
Biblical greed.
Not
biblical level
even-
greed.
Yeah, it's not even that they don't have any attacking game plan. I don't believe that they have any like natural replacements on the wing. Like I remember looking at this team's roster, like when we were doing the preseason predictions, and I was like, okay, if like one of Peck or Paintsell goes down, they're screwed. Now they're going to be without both of them for their next game, which is against, oh my God, SKC. Congratulations, Joss.
Wait, no, don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because I believe in Joao Klaus being a very good pickup. However, I do not believe in this team's defense. If you're going to put out the Unk pairing of Yoshida and Glessness and not give Justin Hack any minutes at center back through the first 3 games. So I think that's something seriously to worry about. But once again, all my thoughts about this game are about the Colorado Rapids, a team who I had the pleasure of seeing in person become the team that they actually want to be. And a lot of that is due to Lucas Harrington, who was the only player on the pitch in Seattle who actually looked good. Paxton Aronson has found a way to look like the DP that he was signed to be over these past 2 weeks. Good for Navajo to get 2 goals. I'm still not completely bought in on the Yappy on the winning experience. I think it just means that the Galaxy's defense isn't as strong as I thought. But I do like Ojitiran. I do like just also shout out Nico Hansen, who comes in for an injured Zach Steffen 1 week after Zach Steffen is just like insane, because that's what the Timbers do to players. They make them look very good. And then the next week they're not playing, and then the backup comes in. The backup's just like, wait, I'm very good too. Colorado was ruthless after this red card, and now they've won 2 consecutive home games in a row. Juanners, where are the Rapids going this weekend? Are they at home again?
They're going to New York City, dude. So it's going to be. Oh, I'm ready to give the mulligan on this one because it's NYC. It's the baseball field. I wonder what playing out of the back in that tiny surface is going to. That's going to be an OTB matchup already. We have to see what the Wells ball looks like within the smaller sides of a baseball pitch. That new stadium cannot come soon enough, fellas. And I will say one final thing on the Rapids. No leads conceded at home. So they've either been level or ahead. And so I think that's how you build home field advantage, right? To not have to go down and concede that first goal. Great stuff by the Rapids. Much different than where I was at last year. Let's move on to another team who won here, Charlotte ATX. This is Daniel's mid game of the week. It's funny that we both have our teams in the middle of the slates here, but red card from Biro.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that red card? I still have mixed feelings about it because I mean the studs are showing it. It is a little, little tough, but
it was unfortunate because like by the definition, it was a red card, but at the same time, like he didn't mean to do it. It wasn't intentional. He was going for the ball. He just misplaced his foot. It's kind of when stuff like that happens, and it changed the entire trajectory of this game. So I'm not going to be super harsh on Austin. I think they tried doing what they did best after that red card, which was they were playing for a draw. They condensed everything, made it hard to play through the middle, kind of like how they play when they go up a goal, and we call it terrorism ball. They just did the same exact thing whenever they got that red card. And Boys, I thought for sure we were going to draw this game 1-1 after that own goal from Morris and Ajiman. I was panicking. That was somehow, some way, that was the second most MLS moment I had seen all weekend. We'll talk about the most MLS moment when we get to NYCFC Orlando. But
Bro, Morrison was in my fantasy, dude. I
how much you pay for him?
Oh, he's like 500K. He's like
Somehow not worth every penny. At least not this past week.
Well, I wanted to because here's the thing: the OTB league, it's a strict budget. So
Yeah.
I was like, Andrew Privet looked awful against LA Galaxy. Like it was a tough showing for him. So I was like, I'll take the chance on Ajimang. And oh my god, I saw that score and I thought it was Ilya, and it wasn't. It was, oh my god, it was Ajimang. What a game.
It was just an incredibly unfortunate moment from a very, very young center back who was not aware of where he was at on the pitch or where Kalina was either.
I like him though. I do like him.
I like him. I think he's a very good athlete. I think he kind of brings that same kind of presence that Malanda did. I think if they can mold him into a similar style player, I think he could be really, really good, especially if he gets a little bit better with the ball in his feet, and that'll come with just more experience and getting used to the game speed. There was a solid 25 minutes where I thought we were getting run off the pitch by Austin. I do this thing. I think I do it every week on this podcast, which is kind of, at this point, shouldn't be expected from what we know Charlotte FC soccer to be, where I want this team to play super clean soccer, because when you break them down at every single position, they should be a pretty good team. But that's not the way Dean Smith wants to play. He wants to batten down the hatches. He wants to send through balls. He wants to play through his wings, and it's never going to be a clean experience. And that's what we got out of this game. I would like to have seen what this would have looked like if it was a full 11 on 11 the entire game. I think the midfield looked a lot better when Luca De La Torre was out for Brant Bronico. I think at this point, you got to play. You don't play your best players at every position. You play the best players for the system that you want. And Brant Bronico, if you're going to play a shithousery style of ball, he's that one. Like every MLS team has that one player who's just a shithouse player. And that's Brant Bronico. And he has been for Charlotte FC for 4 years now. So something wasn't clicking with Luca De La Torre and Ashley Westwood. And I'm happy that they got that figured out. Pep Bale, boys. We've been talking about him now for 2 years. Jeremy's rolling his eyes. Joss wishes he had a player like this on his team. I think.
Okay.
I think.
Right.
Hey, don't disrespect Manu Garcia like that, dude.
I think we might have at least what would have been. Look at the honors that this man got this week. He was the kick-based player of the week. I think he was like some Corona beer player of the week for MLS. Like the dude's got aura, and he showed that in full display. I would say the only thing that I walked away from this being like, that's really not good, and this could be a trend throughout the remainder of the year, and I really hope it's not. But Wilfred Zaha got a yellow for dissent super early in the game, and he didn't really deserve it this time, because normally I admit he would deserve it. And I think it's pro referee making a stance that they're tired of this fucking shit. And when your most expensive player and the guy who's supposed to be your biggest spark on the wing is doing that stuff, and refs are stepping up and saying, we're gonna give you a yellow the instant you start doing it, that's really, really not good, because that changes the way he wants to play, because he's the most fouled player in Major League Soccer. He's one of the most fouled players in the world. He's going to continue to get in people's faces and seek out contact, because that's what he wants to do. One more point on this, and then I'll move to Austin. I talk shit on Liel Abada weekly. It's because I wish he was Zaha, and he never will be. But what he does do, and what I'm starting to really, really like out of him, is his ability to track back and disrupt the play the entire length of the field. And what he provides there, I think, makes a really good 1-2 pairing with Byrne. And yeah, I think Vargas is probably a better attacking option, but what Abada can do in the press and how he tracks back adds a ton of value. And I would like to see him continue to do that. I'd also like to see him can be more direct. I feel like he lacks that. When he gets the ball, he tries to recycle it back into the midfield. And I think that he should trust in his talents a little bit more, because I want to see that kid who was the Scottish Premier League Player of the Year 2 years ago kind of start to shine now, because we're on year 2 of this Liel Abada experiment. Austin, guys, I think they're going to be pretty good this year. I don't know. It's hard to tell. 30 minutes they ran us off the pitch. I think Azuni. What does he? I don't think we know what he does, because I don't think we really know what position he's supposed to be playing at this point.
Jeremy, you got something?
This is a bad game to assess Miyurto Ozuni from, because I mean, when you go down to 10 men so early and you're already like, you already have terrorism built into the game plan, like this is just not a game where you can take anything away from Austin's attackers. However, if we go back a week to this Austin DC game, a game that I am incredibly pissed that we were not able to talk about last week, we see Miyurto Ozuni plays the full 90 in this game, which Austin wins 1-0. He touches the ball 14 times, 2 times in his own box, for a team that ended this game with 54% possession and took 18 shots. So, once again, this is your DP for, at the moment, striker, who is barely able to get on the ball, help in any phase of buildup. Like in this game, in this DC game, he attempts 2 passes and completes both of them. Like, I understand wanting your number 9 just to be in the box to get on the end of chances. How does he not get on the end of more chances when there are, once again, 18 shots going around for Austin? Who is taking the majority of those shots? Let's go find the player stats.
Faku?
Jaden Nelson.
Oh my fucking God. Quick question. Who led Austin in shots last week? I'll give you all one guess. It's not Faku.
Heinz Ike.
Yeah, Heinz Ike.
BSF.
Who finished second, tied on 2 shots with Facundo Torres?
Set piece, maybe.
Svatak. Uzuni gets 1 shot all game. Let's see how it's mapped as.
This is still a DC game, right?
Yeah, this is still a DC game, because once again, you can't really take away anything from Austin aside from how harsh you believe that Bureau red card is. Which, by the way, Dean Smith, after the game, he's ranting about how Bronico's goal gets disallowed. He's like, "Oh, game's gone." Like, I argue that the game is a little bit more gone with that red card, even though it technically is the correct red card. I do like how Bureau was gesticulating like he didn't even deserve a yellow for that, which I understand if you did, but like, you got to know whether or not you stepped on a player's Achilles. So, congratulations to Charlotte. They needed this. This does nothing to change my opinion of Charlotte, who are a super team at home, or they play something like a super team at home. But whenever they travel, things go to shit like they did in the first half against that Galaxy game. So, yeah.
Joss, anything you want to add, or do you want to talk about your second? Which one's your second? Oh, yeah. What do you feel about this one? Oh. You got to unmute.
I'm really good at reading lips.
There it is. Sorry, Josh.
What I say, Daniel?
You said Pep Beal's that motherfucking dude.
I'm always saying that. I mean, I am always saying that. There's about a 75% chance that I just say that in any conversation.
Just in the cauldron.
Yeah. A bunch of Midwestern dads from Johnson County whose kids drag them out, and they're like, "Who the hell is Pep Beal?"
Well, you about to find out that name, buddy.
You're about to learn. You're about to learn Pep Beal. I'll talk about LAFC, FC Dallas.
Take us to there, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
So this was my mid game because my worst game was the one that my team lost, and they both lost by the same scoreline. So this is my mid game. And
thank you.
I don't want the use of the term mid to overshadow the performance from David Martinez, who throughout, I think from the first 3 games of the season this year, he's got 2 goals in 3 games. And he's really made that right wing spot his own, which is really impressive.
About time, right? Yeah. About time. Am I the only one that's like?
He's been in and around. Time. Yeah, he's been in and around the team for the past couple of seasons, but like, we're kind of like, okay, let's move it along. And so it's kind of nice to see him do that, and he scores an absolute a banger in this match. If you haven't seen it, he just long range and just strikes it, and Colodi can't do anything really about it. So really good, a really nice finish for David Martinez. And I'm expecting. Here's my take. I think that he'll probably do 10 goals, 5 assists by the end of the season, and I think that's a pretty good. I think that'll be a pretty good return. I think most impressively from David Martinez is the fact that like Son and Bouanga, like they are the ones who steal the show, right? I mean, they're the superstars, and it takes a lot to be able to take the attention away from them. But LAFC needed that third guy. So if Son and Bouanga, for whatever reason, aren't firing, they still can pick up 3 points. And in this game, that was David Martinez. So really impressed. And it seems like Marc Dos Santos really likes him as a front three. I know they were doing a lot of 3-5-2 last year, especially at the end of last season with Son and Bouanga up top. And it didn't seem like there was a spot for Martinez to come in. But clearly, I mean, reshaping to be able to fit this kid in, it's really impressive. So I really like it. And then as for Dallas, I mean, I'm still high on them. I still think like Petar Musa is still that guy. Still, in my opinion, top 3 striker in the league, and I feel like you guys are all slowly starting to agree with me. Never wrong, just early, as they say.
Slowly.
In this game, he plays like off of Logan Hot Dog Farrington. I'm still not fully sure what this Dallas team is supposed to look like. I don't know how much longer we have to seriously take Shaq Moore as a right center back. Like, when can we start saying, okay, it's curtains. Let's wrap it up. Let's try something else. It kind of feels like a big joke to me. But I think by the end of it, I think Eric Quill will probably get things sorted out. But for right now, it feels very laborious. It felt very laborious to watch this game from the Dallas point of view. There weren't a lot of highlights from FC Dallas. So big on David Martinez for the rest of the season. But as for FC Dallas, very laborious viewing and not fun. Don't like it. Texas soccer, don't like it. Not fun.
Jeremy, Daniel, do you guys have any thoughts on either of these two teams?
I only have Dallas thoughts for this one. Herman Johansson starts this game as a left wing back when he is very clearly a right wing back. Eric Quill's just going to get weird with it, and I've accepted that. So if you're going to play the guy who you signed to play right wing back on the opposite flank and you lose 1-0, I'm also Dallas had a couple of chances in this game. Farrington flubbed a pretty big one. Good save from Lloris. But yeah, I'm like, both these teams are very much like they are who I thought they were, particularly after LAFC spent match day 2 banging in 2 goals from outside the box. And they're following that up with, I guess, technically their home opener, considering they played at the Coliseum week 1. LAFC, good team. Dallas, still defensively solid, but you got to close down the 30-year-old Venezuelan. And I know a lot of people didn't think he really had like that kind of rocket in him, but like I think any player can have that kind of rocket in them when you give them that much space outside the box, particularly when your entire defensive identity is just collapse. So, yeah, so 1-0 result. Dallas probably thinks they could have gotten more out of it, and they could have.
My one Dallas thought is they're going to regret having to stack their midfield up with guys like Joaquin Valiente, Rand Benjamin. I mean, they got in Ricky Lewis off the super draft in here. And it's like, why, I mean, Patrickson Delgado is just immediately like, it's like the Toy Story meme where like, I don't want to play with you anymore. And, and it's like, it was Delgado. I mean, couldn't give Delgado more time. You kind of, I think there's still a wait and see. LAFC is just that team, right? It's just what happens. But we're going to move on to Jeremy's mid-game here. So 3 out of the 4 OTB hosts picked their own teams, which they all had home. We all had home games this past weekend, which was that a first? Maybe a first. I'll have to look back in the archives maybe, but Portland, not a fun one for not a fun one for both of you, and a good one for me and Daniel. But we'll go over to Jeremy's Portland and Vancouver, the mid tier here. Tell us, man, why Gage O'Hara?
Well, first of all, I'll answer that in a little bit. I do want to talk about Vancouver first because this is the third time in a row where Vancouver has come to Providence Park and just like I can't find like a good enough like adjective or verb for this. Like pantsed seems like too tame, spanked seems too tame. Just how about like I don't know, just blitzed even? That seems too tame too. They just kick the shit out of the Portland Timbers for the past 3 times. So
there it is.
13-2 on aggregate. And like the game before this, which was another 4-1 loss to open up last year, that one can kind of be explained away by Kamal Miller red card in the 10th minute. Same referee from that game into this one, even though there wasn't really a single moment that made me be like, hey, Victor, you're getting out of line. Victor being Victor Rivas, who does like to get out of line quite a bit. But Vancouver's a very well-oiled machine, and everybody knows that. Vancouver does what they want. Everybody knows that. Vancouver can have Thomas Muller be not as much of a factor in possession, at least on the ball, because he can just keep moving around, forcing Portland players to track him, which opens up space for one AZ Jackson, the money launderer.
He's so good, dude. I'm sorry. He's cooking, dude.
It is unbelievable. Like it goes to the saying, like the talent is there, but like he just never really looked like a soccer player any of his other stops in MLS. Like even like Wilfred Nazi couldn't get anything out of this guy. And he would have been a pretty good fit in like that like dual 10 role that Nazi usually ran with, playing underneath. He was there the same time as Cucho. So yeah, playing underneath Cucho or like alongside Diego Rossi, something like that. But also he's pretty good 1v1. He's a very smooth dribbler. But at the same time, it's like, dang, now he's actually a complete soccer player because Jesper Sorensen does that. He does that to everybody. He does it to Ralph fucking Priso. So like and like most of my Vancouver thoughts in this game are just like, it's embarrassing to have one of your rivals own your home stadium like this. But like, I would say, oh, that's how Seattle learned for like 7 years when the Timbers like just didn't lose to them. But like the Timbers just kept getting lucky in those games. Vancouver is just like, they're kicking the shit out of Portland in these past 3. So yeah, did not need to see Thomas Muller clip farming after the 3rd goal. Did not need to see Sebastian Berhalter clip farming up 3 goals in the 88th minute. But you know what? That's what's going to put him on the radar of the USMNT fans, because a lot of them don't really know how good he actually is because they refuse to properly watch this league. So yeah, he was unbelievable in this game. Brian White also unbelievable in this game. Like Vancouver has 2 players who could legitimately make the World Cup squad. One of which definitely will. The other one, it's like, with so many striker options, which one do you pick? And Brian White on his day could be one of those. Now we get to Portland, because this is where the actual like thoughts come in. Now, Juanners had the privilege of seeing this team in person last week. And I believe I told him they're dog shit. I probably said some things that might be similar on the Burgundy Banter. I don't know. I recorded a live episode of Burgundy Banter, blinded by rage, with a bunch of Colorado Rapids fans smiling, celebrating a victory. And I wish, I don't care if something good happened to them. I wanted it to happen to me. And what I actually wanted from that Colorado game was for Portland Timbers players to show up and not make stupid mistakes and execute the basics of what it takes to be an actual professional soccer player. They did not. First touches went all over the place. Easy miscommunication with a back pass. In that Colorado game, they gave away a corner kick from their own free kick with a Colorado player only touching the ball once, something I've never seen before. And I was like, I hope I don't see this again. And then in this Vancouver game 1 week later, Finn Sermon just passes the ball out of bounds, like right off of a goal kick. So they gave away a corner kick from their own goal kick with no Vancouver player touching the ball. So this leads me into the whole, is this player mistakes of why they've looked so dog shit over the past 2 games, or is this a coaching failure? Now, against Colorado, I was more willing to say this is very much like player stuff, but with some naivety from the coaching staff, some naivety from the players, because you can't press at altitude, yada, yada, yada. Got to respect the altitude. Shout out Dean Smith. But then you go into Vancouver playing a game with, I mean, gotta be said, 6 starters down, not to mention the one that hasn't even like officially been announced by the club yet, because that paperwork hasn't gone through.
Caicedo?
But Caicedo, yes, very, very excited about him. I got a live look at him today. He is a large dude, and he wants to win the ball in the midfield, which is my favorite genre of soccer player. He's going to be very good. But at the same time, I wonder, like, he's going to look very good because just the Timbers are so woefully disorganized out of possession, and because they have an idea for what they want to do, but the ideas aren't frankly that good. And the players who are brought in to execute those ideas are put in bad positions to do that. Like, if you watch this Vancouver game, you'll notice the ball just going out to Anthony and Christopher Velda on the wings. They immediately get swarmed by 2 or 3 Vancouver players. They have no one for support. All they have to do is just dribble the ball out, but they can't dribble because they're surrounded by 3 players. And Phil Neville thought that the best course of action after this game was to say, my players played like little boys. I think maybe Berhalter's tracking back run while they were up 3 goals influenced that a little bit. Seeing Berhalter track back and tackle who's supposed to be his best player up 3 goals in the 88th minute. He chose to go that route when in reality it was like, I think the players did a pretty good job given the situation, but like there just isn't a solid structure. There isn't something in place like Vancouver has where all these players on Vancouver know where they're supposed to be. They don't have to constantly take 2 touches after they receive a pass to look for where all their teammates are. So, yeah, Phil Neville decides to blame the players after this. We shall see how they respond in Houston, a place where things usually go well for Portland. That's sarcasm.
I was like, no, they don't.
I came on this podcast like I didn't even make like any like outlandish like statements after week 1. I just said it was good to win at home basically. Now I'm thinking like this schedule looks terrible and this team looks like they have never met each other in their lives. And the coach is basically saying this is all the players' fault when for like a couple years I've said like, what is this team outside of its players? There isn't like a strong framework that they can fall back on. There isn't anything that makes you say this team is structured to consistently be competitive. In fact, they're structured to be consistently beatable. And I think it is a reflection of their opponent as to how beatable they actually are as to whether or not those teams win. And Vancouver, very good team. They spank them again. Congratulations to the Vancouver Whitecaps. I'm so fucking angry.
Do you think it's a coaching problem or do you think it's a level problem? Like, you don't have a Brian White. You don't have a Thomas Mueller. You don't have a Cubas or Berhalter. I mean, I guess Sermon is for Blackman. I think they're both very, very good players. But do you think Portland's front office just hasn't – when you stack it up to other rosters in the West, do you think it's a level problem?
No, I don't think it's a level problem. I think for all 3 years that Neville has been in Portland, they've had a playoff quality roster. It's not a top 4 quality roster, but at the same time, like that's what your DPs are supposed to do. They're supposed to elevate. They're supposed to provide the ceiling while the base of your roster build, your Finn Sermons, your Foreys, your Kamal Millers, Maxime Crépeau last year, James Pantemis this year. All of those players are supposed to provide the floor for what this team can be. And I haven't seen enough of the floor getting improved. And when those DPs aren't firing to the same heights that they were in 2024, where Evander and Jonathan Rodriguez were just like box office every week, essentially, until when the games actually started to matter. Rodriguez was hurt. Evander was pouting. I feel like when you build a roster like this, particularly with the profiles of players they've brought in, which in theory should be perfect fits for Neville's style of soccer, you got to be able to coach these guys up a little bit more. I mean, I look at what Sorensen did with like basically everybody on that roster. We picked Vancouver towards the bottom of the West last year because we didn't really believe they had a very strong roster in them. Sorensen made them consistently competitive throughout a terrible injury crisis, an injury crisis that is still going on this season. So, yeah, I don't really feel like there's a ton of excuses for the coaching staff. And I don't really think that like the front office in terms of their player acquisition, I think the front office can get a little bit less heat because of the way they've been able to bring on all these players. But yeah, this is pretty blatantly clear. And it was brilliant. In my mind, it was blatantly clear since they lost 1-0 in Seattle last year. It's been a coaching problem, and it's on Neville now to level up and prove that he deserves a second contract. Because Vancouver fired Vanny after they beat us 5-0 in our own stadium. They still said that wasn't good enough. And now here you are entering the final year of Neville's contract, and you haven't been able to see the consistent improvement just in the way this team sets up. So I feel like there are levels to this, and Vancouver keeps showing the Timbers levels every time they meet.
You're in the phase I was last year in the second year of Armis. With
hypothetical Portland is gonna hit like crack this.
Hypothetical Portland.
Hypothetical Portland has Oliver LaRose, who definitely committed a foul on Belda for Vancouver that led to Vancouver's fourth goal, but we're not going to talk about that because the game was already over.
I will say, I know he's Alex Bonatig, but he's Bone Tig until Portland is good. But no Bone Tig, no Bsky, no
Bsky,
no Forai, no Mascara, no
Chara.
No Chera, and no DeCoste.
Taylor Twellman pronunciation.
Like that's a lot. You said it 6-star. I mean, I think they'll stabilize. I want to say they stabilize. It's kind of like the Orlando, where I just think they'll figure it out, right? And I think that's a lot of talent to lose. So I'm willing to like. I think they played naive against Colorado, and then in this one, no Bassett and no, all those players out. It's not the best start for Portland, but I want to see Caicedo more than anything. So we'll see how that goes.
I do too. One last point on that, because that is a lot of talent that is missing. When all that talent returns, I don't know if that talent by itself is good enough to elevate just how beatable this team is. That's what I'm more concerned about above anything. And also, Christopher Velda, he's played in 12 regular season games now. No goals.
Kind of mid.
Concerning.
Well, that's the thing. It's like he's tricky though, and you gotta have a tricky winger, man. All right. Every team got one. Every team got a Jack Grealish with 3 goals, 4 assists. But damn, it's fun.
Yeah, but I mean, my tricky winger of the season last year was Corbiano, and at least he scored a little bit. You know what I mean?
That's true. Well, this year could be
he had that product.
This year can be Capito when he joined Sporting.
He's almost there, right? He's almost there.
Goal here. Apparently, yeah, but apparently
I'm so gassed for Capita.
Dude, just name test alone. One more thing I want to say before we move on, Jeremy. Daniel Sperry, SKC writer for the Kansas City Star. He saw Phil Neville's quotes and he said he's starting to sound like Peter Vermes. That mean what that it's like Punxsutawney Phil seeing his shadow, bro. You got 10 more years. You got 10 more years of Phil Neville coming your way.
That's tough.
this might be like, do I say this? I believe that based on some of the things I've heard.
Oh,
Dang. And I was ready to say Eric Ramsey shout to Portland so that he can't escape his West Brom Portland hell.
Never ends. Never
Wilfred
ends.
Nancy.
fellas, let's throw up another finger. 1 or 3? Do we go with our 3 or 1? Throw them up.
Daniel had the 3 up like 3 days ago.
I definitely wanted to get into the 3s. You brought up SKC, you brought up Capita. We may as well lead it off with Joss's worst game of the weekend. I'm sure it's for the not Homer reasons, of course, but walk us through SKC 0-1 at home against none other than San Diego.
I've been wanting to talk about SKC for a little bit. San Diego. I've been wanting to talk about SKC on here for a little bit because I have noticed marketable improvement or market improvement, whatever the term is. I've noticed improvement based from Vermes ball into Vagnon ball, and that's good. In the San Jose game where we got blown out 3-0, things went awry after Brian Reynolds went down, or Justin Reynolds went down. After Justin Reynolds went down, and that happens. But against Columbus, where we tied 2-2, I think that's a game last year that we probably lose. And so this game going against San Diego, going against them, we don't walk in expecting a win, but we also, I think that there are some exciting things happening on the team. I think Wiki walked into the first day of training and he had like triangles, and he had that like diagram of the 14 zones on a soccer field, and it was like introducing cavemen to fire. I think a lot of dudes are like, what the fuck? You can do that? So for this game, we looked better against San Diego than I thought we were going to. Ian James sadly is hurt, so he doesn't get the start, but he's been starting our past couple of games, and he's been decent. So Jansen Miller comes in in his place. And Manu Garcia is doing Manu Garcia things from a deeper role. He was given the 6 this year. We called it an aura loss. Turns out he's a damn good 6. And then John Polskamp was really, he impressed me really a lot. But I was talking to Sperry, the aforementioned Daniel Sperry, last night, and I was asking him, who are his most improved players? And he mentions Polskamp. He mentions Shapi Suleimanov, who, according to him, is playing as like a withdrawn midfielder figure, and it's fun. It's just fun. We're just doing shit now. Okay. This is, again, it's like caveman to fire. We're throwing shit at walls, but like Shapi Suleimanov as this like withdrawn midfielder playing just off of Joveljic as like a 10-8 combo, because he's putting in the yards too. I don't know his yards. I don't know his ground coverage stats off the top of my head, but like he had a couple of really good defensive plays that impressed me. And the game against Columbus, his shot bounces off a Columbus defender and it leads to Dejan Joveljic getting his second goal. He's looked better than he did all season at the right wing. Speaking of the right wing, Jake Davis. Wiki's done some crazy shit with him, dude. He's playing like a right mid, right wing back combo. And he has really impressed me. I like give it a few more games and we'll start to see his heat map really develop, but he is all the way up and down this right flank. He's making really good defensive impact, really solid attacking impact. Juanners is messaging me. He's scaring me, bro.
No, you have to see this because I'm glad you brought up Shapi at the 10, because I was doing the probable lineups for the Kickbase app, and when I had to look back at Shapi at the 10, I had to watch this just to make sure that's what he was doing. And you hit the nail on the head. We have Shapi at the 10, guys, like
before GTA 6.
Bro, it is some good stuff, honestly.
It's fascinating, and I think like it was Jake Davis playing that role in the first game. Now he's moved to the right mid, right wing back slot, and he's getting up and down the field. And I think he looks better because he's not quite asked to do as much controlling as he was in the midfield, which I think is a benefit to him. And then Calvin Harris, like, Shallowy scored a game winner like that. Yes, that's good. But like Calvin Harris is actually fast, and he's an outlet that we haven't had I think previously. Like we have not really had fast wingers. I mean, even if you go back beyond the hell that was the last couple of years, Jacob Peterson, Johnny Russell, Daniel Shallowy, Graham Zusi. These aren't guys that like
Jerso.
The Jur show. That's true. I'll give you the Jur show. But these aren't guys that are like necessarily the fastest. So Calvin Harris, I think, has added another level. But enough about the team that lost. San Diego, man, we get it, bro. You're good, okay? Like, oh, I'm a San Diego fan. My team knows how to work really well in MLS 3.0. Oh, we have Anders Dreyer, who could have won MVP if the GOAT did not play in this league. Oh, we're San Diego. Like, okay, enough. Okay, it's exhausting. Oh, Manu Dua. Oh, we drafted a center midfielder who actually is a great center back and is probably going to be in the USMNT conversation. Grow up. It's not fun. You don't get to have fun. So what can I say? I mean, San Diego, they score off of Anders Dreyer scores, and he could have got a second or a third, honestly. He could have had a hat trick if not for some heroics from John Polskamp. Sorry, let me block out the light. I look like I'm in heaven. But
it's SKC heaven taking you.
It's Wikiball. It's what Wikiball does to a motherfucker. So I think with San Diego, like, okay, like it's fun. They're fun. They're good to watch. Amal Pellegrino. They're picking up dudes. They're picking up dudes from who are underperforming, and they're making them look like insane. Not even insane, but just like really quality utility players, and that's a sign of a really strong MLS team with a really strong organization behind them. What more is there to say? What more is there to say? Like, they're good. 1-0 win on the road. What else are you gonna say? We riled up a lot. I didn't even know San Diego had Twitter fans like this, but apparently we riled up a lot of them with our meme on Twitter, which if you haven't seen it, we riled up a lot of them, but some of them actually started following us. So our our haters became our fans type shit. That's what we do at Al Qaeda. San Diego.
Manu Garcia lost his first name, dude. Manu Dua is now Manu.
Bro, chill, chill on my guy, bro. Our only he's exceptional. San Diego are fun. They obviously have this Irving Lozano thing to figure out. They obviously have the CONCACAF Champions League to contend with now. So it'll be interesting to see how they do there. I remember St. Louis after they came in and went to the Champions League and then were pretty bad. So maybe I don't foresee that happening to these guys. Anders Dreyer's nuts, and I think that they'll continue to be nuts. I think that they're going to have a really strong defensive team, and that's really impressive. So my thoughts. And if you haven't watched SKC, bro, it's that you'll never see a better 10th place team in your life.
Anyone else want to add to either of those two teams?
Two quick points on this game. First one on SKC from our watch party last weekend. Every single time a key play alert came up for the SKC Columbus game, it was referred to as a Joss alert. So every single SKC key play alert as a Joss alert from now on. And that game was electric. And damn, Abu Ali, can't believe he missed that penalty. Well, saved. You know, that's the type of stuff you want to see in your home opener. Does give you a little bit of juice, a little bit of momentum. And this wasn't like a bad result for SKC. San Diego's just that good. Transitioning into San Diego, we did not have a show last week, so we need to award 2 San Diego Melmans for their honorary Melman of the week. I would like to nominate Marcus Ingvartsen from their 2-0 win against St. Louis because he actually looked like a real striker. And from this past game, their honorary Melman is Duran Ferry. So, Jesus Christ, even the 19-year-old goalkeeper, it looks like one of the best in the league. That no one is doing it like them, and it pisses me off beyond belief. Everything Josh says about how like they need to suffer a little bit, I think they'll suffer a little bit in CCL over these next 2 weeks. Toluca is a wagon, which makes that game. It's going to make that game must-watch.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I think all the ill wishes I put on St. Louis City is like happening like inversely to San Diego. So now I think San Diego's like an unstoppable machine, all because I hate St. Louis. It's like a reverse karma thing.
Speaking of some CCC check-in, Cruz Azul is up 1-0 on Club Monterrey.
Ooh. Who scored?
What's the Union score?
They lost.
1-0. They lost.
Damn.
Embarrassing.
But LAFC
Arnell
will
Ball.
play. They'll play Alajuelense later in a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see. Any thoughts on these guys, or because I want to move on to Columbus if y'all are ready.
I only have one more question.
Go for it.
Jake Davis, what positions has he all played at this point?
Dude, it's been like 3 games. We've had him at right mid, right wing back, and then like a false 9.
Okay, that leads to my
Yeah.
point. Some people are calling him the Joshua Kimmich of the MLS.
I
Few,
would like to
few.
shake their hand.
Me.
I'm shaking your hand.
I feel like
Yeah.
you did. I not hear this on the last pod?
That he was the
you said
Joshua
this,
Kimmich.
right? Or something similar to that kind.
No, I think that comment had so much aura. You're like remembering it from past life.
Man,
Dude, watch Jake. I think he's gonna pop. This year. I think Wiki's he's shown him the 14 zones, and Jake's like, what the fuck? They don't do this in the academy. They don't do this. What the hell?
Like Channing Tatum and 22 Jump Street.
Yeah,
Has
they
no
took, like,
idea
the
what the
post-
fuck's going on.
They took like the posters of like the kitten hanging off the branch, just like hang in there, and they put actual like tactics on there. They started handing out the they invert the pyramid book.
yes,
we got an
That is-
actual coach in charge, which is fun.
that is. I'm actually due a reread of that, dude. I'm about to bust it out next week. What I will say, what was my final SKC? Oh yes, we had one Wiki had a good weekend this past weekend in Wicklumon Carmona. I think next weekend, this upcoming weekend, Raphael Wiki, Mr. Wikipedia himself will have a good weekend.
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 The wiki weekend.
Yeah, I think we're due for some. Who did SKC play next? Do we know?
The Galaxy.
Oh yeah,
The Galaxy.
Yeah, I already congratulated them on 3 points.
Okay.
I don't know,
Well,
man.
I won't go there.
Please tell me that's the Walmart Saturday Showdown, please.
No, but
Is that not?
It's a Joss Bathtub Saturday Showdown, dude.
Jostler.
Put your money on an
Put the
Eric
Joss-
Tommy goal.
Oh no!
Ooh.
Kiss the badge
Eric
or what?
Tommy goal, bro.
Can I go on
no,
Play
I
Market
don't think
and
so.
say he'll kiss the badge and then beg him to kiss the badge in front of you?
The one bet on that, the one fucking Polymarket bet on Eric Tommy kissing the badge in a game week 4 matchup.
Come on, dude! You can bet on anything. I'm gonna take us.
this league.
I'm gonna take us over to Columbus because, man, I have no thoughts on Columbus, dude. A 0-0 here after a 2-2. Wessam Abu Ali, dude. I want this guy to pop off, but it seems like there's just a lot of cooks in the kitchen when it comes to their final attacking third play, dude. And they had some good chances here. This game, I'll talk about the Chicago side in a bit because I mean they just littered with injuries. On the other side of the Columbus, I mean they have now given up on not just Daniel Gazdag, they have now given up on Hugo Picard at that position. They are going with Taha Habrun as the right-sided attacking midfielder underneath Abu Ali, and they're going with Sadic in midfield. So you have a Sadic and Zawadzki midfield, right? And man, I don't know if they're missing Chambeau because it's like, do we even know if Chambeau is going to play in the Habrun role? Is he going to play where Sadic is at? Are we going to see it? I mean, maybe Sean Zawadzki is just a center back. Maybe that's just where he actually should be playing. But kind of an uninspiring Columbus Crew side, honestly. And this is kind of disappointing because, if we're going to get it seems like if we're gonna get one underperforming Ohio team, the other one's also going to be underperforming. But I'll have a lot more to say about it in the RSL thing because I got some RSL thoughts. I know how they're related, but we'll get there. We'll figure it out. For Chicago, though, I mean, you had Leonardo Barroso go down. In comes Dylan Borso. So very, very funny name trend there. Outside of that, Chris Mueller pulls up in midfield on a non-contact injury. Is just, tough, man. I love seeing. There's a time where Cash Mueller was just money in this league. Prime Orlando City, Cash Mueller. It was so much fun to watch. You'd think he would just pop off in this homecoming. And again, the injury bug coming out of nowhere. In midfield, Jay Davila is in again, but Mauricio Pineda getting another start there. I've always really liked Pineda, and maybe this is the year. He's always been I don't know. Sorry, Davila did not get the start. Pineda did ahead of him. Soletros in there in that midfield as well. But of the two, it doesn't seem like either has it nailed down. Maybe Pineda is a little bit better overall, but I also really liked Sergio Reguel, who we've not seen. I've had him in my fantasy as maybe a sneaky pick of like, didn't like Pineda, didn't like Davila, maybe Oregel will get some minutes out there. And man, Mbokazi had a chance to just light the internet on fire, especially in South Africa. He had a one-on-one chance against Schulte, and it was like gonna be last kick of the game type stuff, and he missed, and not just missed. I mean, Schulte made a great save, but man, just a 0-0, and it's no wonder this is my third because no Kuipers. That made me sad, and what should have been a lights out 3-3 game just ended up being the most disappointing so far Saturday soccer showdown of the weekend. Fellas, any thoughts on these two teams? What are we seeing when it comes to Columbus or Fire?
One sub in a 0-0 game is like, ooh, that stinks. You can't even get Gazdag on the pitch, man. It's a 0-0 game. That's terrible. And the one guy who you do bring on is Picard, who is very much bad. God.
Cashford, Gazdag, come on.
I'm going to steal a little bit of Daniel's thunder here with my Chicago point. Shout out Chris Brady. That is all.
That motherfucking gangster, Chris Brady. keeper of the year, keeper of my lifetime.
Certainly keeper of the match day, as he was on the team of the match day this week. For very much earned.
Where does this Gazdag guy, bro? We got to start having real combos, dude. Did not look good against SKC. It doesn't look. This is like the second coach for that he's been under at Columbus that doesn't really seem to know where to put him. It doesn't seem like he is a 10 who just plays off of the striker, the target striker, the Abu Ali. But that's where they keep playing. I mean, it doesn't seem like he's really like a midfield enforcer, a guy who can like keep things going around and keep things ticking in the midfield. Do Columbus need to step away from a 3-back? Do they is it worth it to do that for a guy like Gazdag? What do you guys think?
Man, you got a cash for Gazdag there, dude. I'm sorry.
Who's gonna take him? Like, out of all the business Philly has done, like in the past 5 years, I think selling Gazdag and weakening a conference rival like this purely because they bought him, like this is the best sale they've ever made. And no strings attached.
I already know where he's going, guys. He's gonna go to Seattle.
No, how would he fit on Seattle? He wouldn't even fit there.
Exactly. exactly.
Gazdog's best when he is like the only attacking option on his team.
I
Which sounds
mean,
horrible.
So long as De La Vega's out, though, I don't see why they wouldn't put him out there with on the right wing.
So you got Jesus Ferreira on one wing and Daniel Gazdog on the other.
That's so Pete Schmetzer.
Come on,
he would do that. He would absolutely do that.
Dude, that team would have balled the fuck out in 2021. Oh my goodness.
Or DC. I mean, we'll get to DC eventually, but
I actually think that's a really good shout.
Go join Tyberivo.
Yeah.
Any other shouts for where one would cash for Gazdag, or do you think they got to figure it out?
Can USL teams do cashers?
God damn, shots fired, bro.
Louisville.
My bad, bro.
Louisville.
Yeah, but
Detroit.
The Birmingham Union, bro. They could use a guy like you.
Legion, bro. Show some respect, dude.
Sorry, Chris Richards appreciators out there.
Any other thoughts on these teams? Any Chicago? I mean, no Kuipers is sad, fellas. Like anytime I don't get to, because I mean, last week I signed the other 0-0. I already forgot what it was. What was the 0-0 last week?
Dallas, Nashville.
Yeah, fuck, dude. I think I'm just cursed to assign the 0-0s now to myself. Like I think it's gone full circle now after giving you guys some 0-0s throughout the season. It's only, no Kuipers, man. Like makes me mad. Let's go over to Daniel, or we can go to St. Louis. St. Louis or New York City? No, we'll go to St. Louis. We'll go to Jeremy's. St. Louis. Yeah. Worst game of the three here is a 1-0 Seattle win on the road against St. Louis. What are your thoughts on this one, Mr. Peterman?
This one's relatively short. Seattle wins 1-0 because when Yamar goes down, they shift Alex Roldan over to center back, and substitute Kalani Kosarienzi comes on and scores the game-winning goal. St. Louis has plenty of opportunities to equalize because the Sounders look very sloppy with this new defensive structure. Didn't really adjust too well to Yamar having to exit. But St. Louis cannot score goals. And I think that's really funny. And Seattle runs out deserved 1-0 winners at the Energizer Park, which doesn't really have a ton of energy now. On St. Louis's side, I'm going to be nice to St. Louis for a second. I'm going to be nice to Edouard Leuven. I'd like to wish him the best following the passing of his wife. That is tragic, utterly tragic. It's really been it's been really hard watching these past couple of years, knowing what he's been going through off the pitch. And I just hope that he is doing all right, because that's, once again, it's just absolutely tragic. Oh boy. Simon Betcher, everybody. not the transition I wanted to make, but Simon Betcher is not very good at this whole striker thing.
But he can be.
He can be. He isn't. I'd also like to shout out I believe Dante Polvara has been a very, very smart addition for them. I thought he'd be playing more in the midfield, but sure, he can be a center back. Both of their best center backs are still not playing yet. Falu Fall and Mbake Fall. None of them have gotten a game yet. #concerning. Yeah, I think this team needs to really, really find a striker in the summer. Sergio Cordova. We haven't talked about Sergio Cordova coming back into the league yet. Like, I don't know what.
There's a reason. There's a reason.
I mean, yeah, he was stinky with Salt Lake. He was stinky with Vancouver, and he's going to be stinky in St. Louis. So getting all the stink out. On Seattle's side, I think the most notable thing from this, aside from Yamar's injury, which suddenly they're really, really thin at center back. Like they're already really, really thin at central midfield. Like they're kind of really thin on the wings. Speaking of the wings, Snyder Brunel had to play there because that's what Schmetzer does. He takes his young central midfielders and he puts them on the wing and says, you're going to do the whole inverted thing and allow the right back to just overlap you, to varying results. The results for Mr. Snyder Brunel in this game were not very good, but once again, he put in a shift. Wasn't a very good shift, but I mean, every single one of their young players who comes through just has some kind of dog in them for whatever reason. Juanners, I want your opinion on this. Are you worried about Osaze de Rosario?
Yeah, dude. I was not impressed when I saw him on the road in Seattle, and I was like, maybe it's just, still getting used to it, still figuring it out. And then last week, what was the game last week? I already forgot it. They go on the road to RSL.
Yeah. They lost to RSL.
And that was quite funny. And then in this one, like outside of the KKR shot, I don't see anything to suggest that Seattle are better in the attack with Osaze out there. Maybe it's the fact that behind him is Snyder Brunel at the wing, and doing more to stretch the field to allow KKR into the attack, which led to the goal. But I don't know, between him and Rusnak, it doesn't seem to be clicking, right? And I think that's why you have a guy in Danny Musovski who year over year just is this guy that's just a sneaky good attacking player. Moose, as they call him. I do quite like Moose, and I do like the Sounders team when they have his ability to get in behind. I think he may be a bit more agile and faster than Osaze, where Osaze just gives you good hold up play. I just don't know if that works with Rusnak and company, and no Paul Rothrock either. So that one was tough. I think the one player that impresses me most out of any on Seattle right now is Jesus Ferreira. I think something about him. Something about him in the Jesus hair, dude. Like he's playing quite well. I think. I do want to see, maybe, because why not try Jesus Ferreira at the striker position? You know what I mean? Like you could play there. I know they're thin at wing, but I just look at Jesus Ferreira and I'm like, that was the one signing that was the one cash for I wish the Rapids had beaten Seattle to. But
it was Gam.
Oh, I mean, before Cashford, right?
Gam.
Before the Cashford system. But what do you think about Osaze?
I think he's approaching SpongeBob Big Guy Pants okay territory. And that's not a compliment. But,
is that the new is that the new MLS initiative? It's like the Walmart Saturday Showdown.
Yeah.
Say that again.
He's getting a little. He's getting a little ice spice, a little too much ice spice, a little ass. The official is we can make this a bit. Fuck it. If there's just a big striker who's just stinking it up, they enter SpongeBob Big Guy Pants okay territory, and that's where I think De Rosario is heading, and it's a shame because he looks really good in preseason. I mean, is it a shame? I say that kind of like with a little chuckle in the back of my mind, but yeah, it really isn't a shame because once again, like Juanners, like you said, they could just bring in Danny Musovski, but Schmetzer is nothing if not stubborn. And one of the things I really appreciate about him.
I mean, I don't mind them still trying. I mean, they won at the end of the day, right? So if they want to keep trying Osaze, they sure as shit can. I don't mind seeing him get more minutes, But at some point you gotta show you're not. Because what's the next tier after SpongeBob Big Boy Pants? I don't even know what you said. It just eludes me every time.
The tier below that.
What's next after this? Above this?
what could be lower than just pure ass?
Atlanta United.
Okay, yeah, we'll give them the Atlanta United treatment. Yeah, honestly, yeah. Oh my God, we can go Chris Henderson tier, maybe. He's the one who
Okay.
constructed that roster. We'll talk more about Atlanta later, but
Yeah, we'll workshop the next
And also-
tier after
also keep in
SpongeBob.
mind- keep in mind, you said like, well, Seattle won this. They won't be like they won this because St. Louis is stinky. Like
I don't know,
they won
dude.
this
I want to believe in St. Louis, low key. Sorry, Josh. Hide your.
I don't
hide your
until
ears.
they prove to me they can score goals, and so far they haven't been able to do that.
Yeah. Well, Hartel's. He misses last week. Lowen, of course, everything is going on there, but I mean, no Mbake fall, no Falou fall. Like, I'm ready to see this team when they have their stability. I mean, because they probably do have a lot of it already, right? But I mean, like, where's Pompeu? That's another freaking cash for, dude. Like I wouldn't be surprised if I woke up and saw the Rapids went and cashed for Pompeu, and then you get Pompeu back on a team that wants to press and a team that wants to win the ball and find the kind of winger that Pompeu is. Like, and I'm kind of manifesting, throwing that out in the ether. If Porrick Smith listens to the Outside the Box podcast an hour and 45 minutes in, but yeah, I mean, where's Pompeu? You know what I mean? Because put the Pompeu in the bag, dude. What do you mean, Toykert? What do you mean, Toykert, dude? And I mean, Josh agrees. He gets fucking tortured by Pompeu when he goes to Children's Mercy Park.
Yeah, bro, they like thaw him out for every game that they play against us or something. He's like Walt Disney's brain that's like frozen somewhere. And then every time that SKC comes up, they're like, oh, let's take him out, put him out on the field. Then he disappears again.
He's your Pompey. Ooh.
Yo. Pompey. Ew.
What do you guys think? Am I hyping up St. Louis? Like, I don't know. I want to see them. I want to see it work for a young Yohan Dame.
I don't want to see it work, but I don't think you're hyping them up. I think, like, especially with the fall and fall center back partnership, that'll be fun. But like Jeremy said, the center back partnership, that's not what's going to score you goals. And can St. Louis do that when they're not playing Charlotte FC? I don't know.
Yeah, man. And even then, that was a 1-1 draw, right? So they even won that one. Fucking hell. Daniel, let's go to your worst game of the weekend. And I'm pretty sure I know why it's this low. I kind of had
the scoreline. Was that gave it away?
Well, I mean, let talk to us about it, man. NYC just well, you mentioned it earlier, MLS moment, and I'm sure this one sticks out for all the wrong reasons too.
We'll start by saying, because of the nature of how this game unfolded at the very beginning, there's not a whole lot you could take away from it. Very, very similar to Austin. Holy shit, I had 2 games with early red cards. Thanks, Juanners. Thanks, boss man.
Hey, I'll trade you the 0-0, dude.
Some people, as they're getting ready to turn 40, they look at their taxes, they look at their retirement portfolio, they consider having a final kid just to feel young again. They get a new sports car. They go through a midlife crisis. Maxi Morales has 2 assists and scores a goal on a Saturday at Yankee Stadium because he's just built different. The dude's ageless. He's like fine California wine. You let it sit in your basement for 25 years and you get Maxi Morales. It is insane to see what he's still doing at his age and the level that he continues to maintain year after year. And I think Nicholas Fernandez has really complimented him and made this team better. I'm going to leave this up as a question to you guys because I'm really, really, really excited to say my comment about Orlando. And this could be a post-Orlando comment question, but does this team, which is now top of the East, who lost their supposed best player, if not best player, top 3 player, we all like consensus in this podcast, and Justin Hack, and they have not really taken a step back. I would argue they've gotten even better, at least compared to last year. They've at least continued their form. Jeremy's making a look, but you can't really debate it. They were one of the hottest teams in the last 10 games of 2025, and now they are top of the East. Maybe for as good as Justin Hack was, the system could be the reason why they're so good. Maybe. Jeremy's gonna have some thoughts on it. I can see it in his face. Juanners probably has some thoughts on it because he has thoughts on everything. But now we're gonna see me
next.
So, fellas, for this little bit, I pulled out my copy of the Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx. Fans, we are a minute and 50 in, Orlando fans. If you were listening on Spotify, go to YouTube, go put a picture of Maxime Crépeau's face over top of mine, and you can red scare this guy off your team if you just do that. I swear. I have no idea. That is him stepping out of the box to catch a ball was absolutely the most Major League Soccer moment I have witnessed in three years now. Like, I feel like we had grown past this, and I was like, holy shit. I watched it with Charlotte. I was like, oh my God, that's a moment, but at least I can talk about it. Like, he's a young center back, like it's gonna be okay. But Maxime Crépeau's been around for a long time. He's been in this league for a long time. Jeremy's very familiar with him. That was the most unlike Maxime Crépeau thing I have ever seen. And I think there's just something in the water down in Orlando. I'm very curious to hear about.
Wait, really quickly. I have to say, to add another Maxime Crépeau moment to this, I watched him in person drop a ball, like a high claim, directly into Pedar Musa's path last year in Dallas. An action that elicited me just saying, "Are you kidding me?" out loud in the press box. Like, as soon as I saw him handle that ball outside the box, I was like, "Yeah, yep, that's Crépeau. It is." He fluctuates between looking like the best goalkeeper in the league and then just failing to get the basics right. He is,
he is Chris Brady without a future accounting career.
Chris Brady without a future accounting career. That is correct. And without a move to Chelsea and like 3 failed loan spells to like, let's say Vitesse.
Jagiellona,
yeah.
I think we can say at this point we might be doing hypothetical Orlando much earlier than the end of this summer, and I think it's going to be because Oscar Pereira could get canned. I don't like his lineup selections. Why is Tyrese Spicer starting out there? Ojeda's one of your best players. You have to find a way to maximize him. We know he can play multiple different positions. But you're supposed to be working Duncan Maguire, a guy you're paying a ton of money into the lineup, and you don't do it until after a red card and you're trying to chase a game. You're 3 goals down already. I don't understand what we're doing here, right? Because clearly when you get linked to guys like Antoine Griezmann, for example, right, which fell through, shame, you're trying to keep up with your biggest rival in Miami, right? Shocker, it fell through, but it is what it is. You're trying to do things to keep up with your biggest rival in Miami, right? Just the reality, you're going to get a guy like that. And then you go out and you start Tyrese Spicer. You go out and you get a guy like Griffin Dorsey, and we're like, yeah, that's a good move by Orlando. And I watch him clear a ball directly into Maxi Morales for the 5th goal. Like, it's just like, what are we doing here? And I think it's an Oscar Pereira issue, fellas, because when you put all these guys and you stack them up outside of Tyrese Spicer, because I still don't know why he was starting. Yeah, I just have too many nightmares of getting burnt by him last year in gambling bets. Anyway, you stack this team up.
Like, Derek Jones.
They're not that bad, but like, why is Eduardo Atuesta not starting on this team? Like, what are we doing? I don't understand it. And that's absolutely something that Oscar Pereira can control, right? That's something within his purview, and he's not making the moves. He can't help that his goalkeeper had a dummy moment. I mean, maybe he can't. What's he going to do? Scream at the guy in the moment? Like, sometimes people make mistakes. It is what it is. But my God, the lineup to begin with was set up to fail. And maybe he just went this route because he was playing on a shorter pitch in Yankee Stadium. Maybe he accepted it as a loss because Yankee Stadium's automatically a win for NYFC to begin with, and he didn't rotate in his strongest lineup. I don't know, but man, 5-0 and just going out that way. Like, I didn't want to talk about it too much because that's why it was third, and there's not a whole lot to say, but there's a lot to say. Oscar Pereira has been a mainstay in this league forever now. He's been a great coach. It's just kind of sad to see the rails start to fall off.
Can I add one quick Orlando thing? Daniel, you said that they're trying to compete with their biggest rival, Miami. Their biggest rival is actually Atlanta, and they're doing a pretty damn good job of competing with them right now. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yes,
That was a
Thiago,
banger. That was a banger.
Tiago, Iago,
Otavio.
God, Otavio, yeah, like what a disaster of a winter transfer window this has been. Words fail me, but
Yeah, because I was thinking about this the other day, especially because there's something about Oscar Pereira has always been known to be like the youth whisperer, right? Like he can get a lot out of the young guys, right? And so I think, seeing Nolan Miller getting a start here, that he was questionable heading into this one. So I do quite like Nolan Miller. I think there's something to build around there. Tahir Reed-Brown, also a very good player. I want to defend Orlando because yes, it was ugly. It was an ugly loss. No doubt about it. But it's like, it was an ugly loss with less Adrian Marine, who did come on later for Tahir Reed-Brown. But there's still no Robin Jansen, and I think that is a huge side of this that's missing for Orlando. Like if it's not Jansen, if it's not Tuesta that's among their best players, it's Jansen, honestly, if not the best player. But overall, I don't think it was. It's bad. It looks bad. It is bad. All right. But there's just so much that has been going against this team. I think from I kind of alluded it to Portland, right? Where you have kind of these missing pieces. You have players that these starting off in the season is crucial. How you start matters, right? Because I look at a team like the Rapids who go to Seattle and they get pimped out of there, just completely floored there. And then they stabilize. They come home and they have 2 back-to-back home games. They, we're like, this is what we want to do. This is how we want to play. Even SKC, it's kind of insane that you have a small roster already and there's already some freaking injuries happening. That kind of is concerning. But there's enough teams that at least have an idea of how they want to play. I don't know how Orlando want to play just because they're still missing their guys, guys that'll influence how this is played, right? And you don't do yourself any favors with that Crepo, handling. But just one where do you guys ever play FIFA and you just don't rage quit? You just sit through it and just take whatever.
Take the ass whooping. Yep.
Yeah, this is one of those games where you're like, all right, let's just fine. 3-0, cool. 4-0, whatever. 5-0, okay, cool. 6-0.
Yeah, I deserve it because I'm not pure of heart. That's what I tell myself.
And maybe Orlando isn't, but
I have one question, and I'm gonna start by asking the question to Josh because I want to hear his opinion on this. I want to hear everyone's opinion on it, but I haven't heard his yet about Orlando. So Philadelphia Union, New England Revolution, Atlanta United, and Orlando City. Through 3 weeks, what do they all have in common?
Philadelphia Union, Atlanta United, and Orlando City.
And the New England Revolution.
Through 3 weeks, they don't have a win.
Okay. Of those 4 teams without a win, do you think Orlando is the best of those 4?
Ooh, good question. Yeah, I do. And that's a pretty quick response. I think. I was never
so fast.
Yeah, I think so.
Love hating Carnell, dude. I love it.
I mean, if you look at my preseason predictions, where did I put Philly? 11th. I'm not high on them. I'm not high on Philly. I'm not high on Carnell. So yeah, I think Orlando are by far and away just based off of history and usually I'm surprised to see this from them because they've been very established these past few years. So I'm surprised to see such a poor start out of them. And I think like if you look at the Revs, they're kind of a mess. They're kind of figuring things out. Atlanta United, Jesus, dude. Philadelphia is really the only one that you can look at and say, look, there's some comparativeness there. But Carnell Ball second season, they haven't gotten off to a great start this season. So it's not too surprising to see them down where they are. I am surprised to see Orlando down where they are. And what I'm not surprised about is some goalie hijinks in this game, because games between NYCFC and Orlando always got some bullshit going on with their goalies, dude. You guys remember the playoff game? Like, there's always something nuts going on. And I feel like this is like Crépeau, if we're talking our favorite Crépeau moments, this is up there with when he snapped his leg in MLS Cup coming out.
Oh my God, that's up there for you.
It's up there.
That's
It's kind of up there because it was like, Jesus, what the hell? What is he? What is it?
And he got red carded for it.
He
Oh yeah,
And he got
he was
red
on the
carded
ground,
for
and
it.
they're like,
Crépeau moment, dude. Not a smart choice by Crépeau. Back to my topic. I've been sitting on that one for a little bit. Back to what I was going to say. Like I think that Crépeau and El Pulpo, like, very kind of similar level of insanity in the goalkeeper position. Orlando really haven't had a non-insane goalkeeper like
Joe Bendick.
See, that's not
You gotta
fair, bro.
go
You
back
can't
there.
You can't just say names, bro. You can't just make up names. So, like, this is nothing new for Orlando. They got insane goalkeepers. It's just like El Pulpo. He was able to be insane and also like keep Orlando in games. Crépeau's insane and loses them games.
I like it.
any other thoughts, fellas? I think
Just
and
one
NYPD is a
quick.
wagon, right?
I have one quick Orlando thing. These are their next 5 games. This Saturday they host Montreal. Loss. Pushing that in right now. They are
Okay,
losing
if
at
it's a
home to
loss,
Montreal.
we'll have the conversation if they lose, dude.
Yeah, because this is
Uh-oh.
what happens after they lose to Montreal. They have to go to Nashville. Then they have the international break, and then they have to go to LAFC. Then they have to go to Columbus, and then they host Houston and Charlotte, and then visit DC. And that Houston, Charlotte, DC, that's a 3-match week. Where do they win a game if they don't beat Montreal this weekend?
Columbus.
Hey, yo. We'll see, dude.
Hugo Picard will score his first goal in that Columbus Orlando game. That's the type of thing that
Daniel
Orlando is
Gazdag.
on this year.
Daniel Gazdag, bro. That's his game.
Daniel
That's his
Gazdag
moment.
non-penalty goal.
That's his moment.
No, I was going to say Daniel Gazdag hat trick of penalties.
Oh,
Speaking of a Joss alert, Juanners and I were like, not to bring it back to Columbus, but we saw Wessam Abu Ali stepping up with it. We were both like, why the hell? Like, Gazdag's on the pitch. Why are you not giving it to Gazdag? And then Abu Ali misses the penalty. I'm like, oh boy.
I thought that too, bro. I was when I saw him stepping up, I knew Pulse Camp.
Shout out Pulse Camp, though.
Got that shit on lock.
John.
Let's go to our number ones, fellas, our top games of the week. We're going to go over to ATL and RSL. Joss is number 1 here. One thought before you get into it. I think this is going to be the first year. I alluded to it earlier. Both Ohio teams on a bit of a downturn. Both Rocky Mountain teams on a bit of an upswing. And even though the hater in me just couldn't put RSL higher than 15th because, again, hater. And also they, like, I saw the injury report and I was like, oh, it's starting early. The wooden spoon RSL campaign. They've done it without Luna Olatunji. They've benched Pablo Ruiz. It's insane. I'll let Joss lead off on the on his favorite game of the weekend though. Here, a 3-2 win for RSL on the road against ATL.
I'm just living up to my assigned role as the RSL supporter here. And I mean, look, I was gonna start off with that actually. Olatunji out, Diego Luna out, Pablo Ruiz benched, and they just came into Atlanta and dropped 3 on them, using dudes that frankly I've never heard of. I mean, look, I've heard of Gozo. Okay, we're all on the Gozo train. I was on the Gozo train before the start of the season. But like I don't even know how to pronounce Hazorkani, bro. Like, and this is his second week in a row where he's had a goal contribution. They had Salant. Look, bro, he doesn't even have a picture on FootMob, dog. They're pulling up with guys. They're pulling up with regens, dude. This is a David Villa regen. That's who that is.
He's awesome, bro. Oh,
his goal was nut. Like, yeah. And so for that first RSL goal, they I want to make sure I get this right, but it's Solant, and he torches that Atlanta back line, guys. Like, I don't know if it's like one through ball and he's in, and he torches. I want to make sure that I get this right too. It's
Juan
I think it's
Berocal.
Yes, I think it's better call. Mihai had the mistake for Mihai had the mistake for the second goal where
Mihai watching this team, bro.
My gosh, bro. That was good. Mihai, like he get the ball, like gets trapped under his feet, he can't clear it out, and Hazorkani, that finish is nutty, bro. The kind of thing that you're just like loving to see. And then my favorite goal from one of my favorite players in the league right now is Gozo, playing right wing back. By the way, he's not even a right wing back, but Pablo My Little Pony got him doing shifts at right wing back, and he's looking great. And he torches Baez, Elias Baez, and then just curls it around Betakal. Hoyos he's getting nowhere near it, and it's 3-1 at that point. And RSL they look compact, they look organized. They're doing this without Luna, they're doing this without Olatunji. I really liked what I saw from Gilavogi as well, playing sort of on the left wing. Their new signing from Lons, but he looked really good, and he wasn't afraid to take shots whenever he felt like he could. So that was really something that I enjoyed about watching him. The only thing is they also let Moranchuk score twice against him, so there are some, it can't be perfect. That second Moranchuk goal is so angering, dude, because it's like Cabral makes I don't know if maybe I'm just being like an armchair commentator, but like I feel like you can get that. I don't know, maybe I'm just hating, but he kind of pushes it into his own net. Maybe it's just like you're how dare you stand where Brad Guzan stood for the past couple of years, and now that we don't get to see him falling back into his net every other game, like he's doing his best.
There have been so many of those in this game.
There would have been a lot. So yeah, I was really impressed with RSL, and I mean, like, dude, their midfield too. Their numbers are 34 and 92, bro. Those are O-line numbers. Like, are you serious? And they're out here dominating games. Kaliskan was he was phenomenal again. He's
I'm
really
sure
good.
Jeremy would have loved a Noel Kaliskan in the Portland Timbers midfield this past weekend.
He's a draft pick who took an international slot. What kind of bullshit is that?
For Atlanta, bro, they got like Miguel Almiron doing shifts at Cam. Tata Martino thinks it's 2018, bro. He's like he's on the sideline begging for Josef Martinez. Like, somebody put him out to pasture at this point, dog.
Tito Villalba.
He doesn't know where he's at right now, dude. He walked in there and was like, "Who the hell is Alzate, bro? What have you done with Martinez? Where's number 7? Take that shit off." He ripped it off of him. But Latte Lock got an assist. So what's that, like 9 goal contributions in the league? So for over his past 2 years here, I don't know. I'm making shit up at this point, but
9 seems high.
I wasn't impressed, dude. I'm not impressed with Atlanta. Again, like, there are a lot of things to not be impressed by with this Atlanta team. It's really hard to nail down just one, but their back line looks like a joke. They just look disorganized. To put it in words that our Gen Z, Gen Alpha viewers will understand, RSL frame-mogged Atlanta United and spiked their cortisol based on how organized they were. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm really impressed by RSL, and I'm excited to see what this team looks like, because Mastrioni, he's got it, man. He's got aura. He's got it on lock. I'm excited to see what it looks like when they're fully healthy again. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
Anyone else want to add on to that?
Can I pour some cold water on RSL really quickly?
Yes, please. Somebody needs to.
They've been getting a lot of hype over the past 2 weeks because they've won 2 consecutive games. Congratulations to them. They opened up the season by losing against Vancouver. Probably could have lost by more in that game. But they did keep it competitive. Last week they beat Seattle, a team that they always beat in Sandy. They literally haven't lost to Seattle in like 16 years there.
Sandy.
So yeah,
No, just not with the ego. Sandy.
I love it, dude.
yeah. I'm not. And then like it's Atlanta, guys. It's Atlanta in 2026. You know it's it's Wilf Zaha, dude. It's Atlanta United. Like, Daniel, I saw you perked up. You heard Wilf Zaha. You're like, oh yeah. Like, I mean, it is like it's Atlanta in 2026 is going to become the new version of it's Wilf Zaha, dude. Like, this is just who Atlanta is. They utterly stink. I feel like you should get some hype docked if you allow Moranchuk to get a brace. I do think Elias Baez is good for Atlanta, and I do like how a lot of these contributions are coming from RSL's academy kids. But other than that, this is kind of like a result where I'm thinking like, do it against San Diego in 2 weeks, and we'll talk.
In Sandy or San Diego?
San Diego.
San Diego. I had one more thought, if you guys don't mind, and this is a general call out question to the panel here. But when I was watching our games or watching the highlights from the games and everything, in the grand world soccer right now, there's a big impact, and I'm a Premier League viewer, so there's a big emphasis on like corner kicks, throw-ins, physical set pieces. MLS is still known as like the land of the 10, and that hasn't been a thing for a few years. Now. So is MLS the place to go if you actually want to watch beautiful non-thug soccer? I don't know.
Yes.
What do we think?
Daniel, this is you. You got a shill for this.
I know. I hesitate to say yes because I only watch MLS, right? But when I see a European game, I can instantly spot the difference. On a quality standpoint, one of the top fives, of course. I'm not. When I watch the Belgian league, it's very, very equivalent in a playing perspective, different in a cultural perspective. But I think MLS is at a point now where there's. I mean, we just saw Montreal beat New York Red Bulls, right? It's like, if anything, it provides the most entertainment across various different styles, but I'll let the shill lead off on that one as well.
So when you watch Premier League footy, right, that it's 18 teams that generally all try to play a relatively similar ball, right? That's where the term Brexit ball comes from, right? When you watch Italian soccer, it's their whole first division trying to play soccer a very, very similar way. Same thing with Spain, same thing with Germany, right?
Tiki-taka.
Yep. Major League Soccer is the only league in the world that I watch because I try to watch as much soccer as I can. It's the only league in the world where you have all blends of those styles all put together in one league. Vancouver plays a very, very, very different style than Charlotte. Charlotte plays probably the closest style to Premier League soccer, that style of Brexit football in the entire league. That's why it doesn't match up very, very well when they play against a Miami that plays like an Argentinian national team, right? Or it doesn't match up great when you play against Nashville that plays very, very Spanish-like, right? They're swinging balls. They got their strikers playing as wingers. They're constantly rotating. Nashville set up so that they have a player that can rotate and fill in the gap across the entire board, right? So RSL plays a way different than San Diego does. You just have multiple different styles of play, and you're trying to fit square pegs into round holes of this style of play. How's it match up against this style of play? And that's the great thing of playoffs. Your playoffs is you trying to play your best style of ball while exposing your teammate, the team you're playing's like flaws, right? And you're make interesting dynamics because of that. Like LAFC plays way different than NYCFC, right? Versus when you're watching Premier League, West Ham plays really, really, really similar to Aston Villa, right? They're going to make runs, they're going to bang each other up, and they're going to boot the ball the fuck down the field. That's what they do, and that's what you see. Now, on the ball, yeah, they're not as direct as maybe they were 20 years ago. Like, the Phil Fodens of the world are now considered the flourish players of the Premier League because they kind of stifled that style of play for your sabermetric ball, your what's the most highest percentage outcome, which is why they boot the ball the fuck down the field, because they want to get the ball on the other side. They want to get the ball on their third quickly, because that's proven statistically to help you score goals faster. I just think Major League Soccer is such a different style because you're trying to fit 30 different franchises that are trying to build brands and styles of soccer and trying to play soccer the best way versus teams that have to play the best way because that fits that league, because if they don't, they get relegated, right? So no, I think sometimes you watch matchups, like if you watch LAFC play San Diego, it's some of the prettiest soccer you're ever going to see in Major League Soccer right now, right? Because you have guys that can all individually win their one-on-ones. They can take a guy on. They know where the right pass to make is because they're all seasoned vets, and in some cases they're all superstars like Andres Dreyer and Heung-min Son. Like you know that they're not going to make the wrong decision, right? But then sometimes you get just that shit house fuckery with Colorado and Portland, and that's okay too.
Or Crepo. Literally
Crepo. Their style of play does not match up. Like the Red Bull, like the New York Red Bull, like they play the same exact way across every system. There's not a whole lot of difference between how Red Bull New York plays versus how Red Bull RB Leipzig plays. It's just straight up terrorism, press the shit out of you, pray that we get the ball turned over in our third and we score a quick goal, right? And you see that very, very, very similar style of play when you watch the MLS version of it. So because of that, you're going to have really, really ugly games. It's like trying to fit a team from Spain playing a team from Italy, but there's no stakes. It's not like a Champions League Cup game. So because of that, it's not going to be as pretty all the time. But it's beautiful to us because it's 30 different franchises across the country, and they're all got their own styles of doing it, and you're trying to see them figure out every year. The RSL is going to be nasty in a couple of years if they can keep this core together. It's just the reality of it. And New York Red Bull could be nasty by the end of the season with how fast these kids progress. You just never know.
That was an awesome soliloquy, as I'll call it.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
Very well done.
I'm very good at this. The Twitter brain's got me. Like I'm always on how can I shill for the league.
Does anyone want to add to that, or are we good to go to Daniel's best game of the week? I mean, take it away, Daniel. You got Nashville, Minnesota as your top one. 3-1 for Nashville at home ahead of their CCC midweek games. Game set to be played here. I think they play tomorrow as of the recording of this. So the best teams in Major League Soccer all have a match winner. Who's Portland's match winner, Jeremy?
At this point in the season, fuck if I know.
I guess Kevin Kelsey, right? Or Anthony, I guess.
I mean, Kelsey's not even starting.
Anthony if he's feeling it. Kevin Kelsey if he's feeling it.
Juanners, who's your match winner, or who's supposed to be your match winner for Colorado?
Matt Wells.
Brendan Aronson, or Paxton Aronson, right?
Sure.
He's the guy you spent a ton of money on. Sure. And who is Sporting Kansas City supposed to be?
You said best teams in MLS have a match winner, so I abstain.
That's what I didn't want to say that, but you.
That's crazy.
But for the sake of the conversation, Dejan Joveljic.
Okay.
Shapi, bro.
True.
Shapi at the 10.
True.
Shapi
at the 10. You guys ever seen that Ronaldo Shapi commercial?
What?
I'll send that to you when we're done here.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
We'll link it. Yeah.
It's like for an app.
Yes. Yeah, the shopping app where he's doing to the baby shark. He's Shapi, shop. Yeah. When he's doing the celebration. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Guys, Nashville has like 4 of them. That's how good this team is. Sam Surridge is the leading scorer in Major League Soccer right now for good reason. But would he be if he didn't have Christian Espinosa playing off of him, right? If he didn't have Hani Mukhtar playing off of him, if he didn't have what I think could be the best midfield pairing in the league and Tag Seth and Yazbek, which I had to look at my monitor because it like riddles my brain every time I say it. Yazbek and Tagseth. Like, it's just loaded. Like, you guys gave me week 1, and I went on about how they were the most fun team that I watched all weekend. And I could say at this point, the reason, and I brought this up earlier with Charlotte, like the reason I hold Charlotte to a high standard is because teams like Nashville exist and they make it look so freaking easy. And BJ Callahan, a guy who was an assistant coach for the U.S. men's national team, is coming out here and embarrassing people. And I don't even think it's because he's loaded. I think people want to play for him. They want to work hard for him. His style of ball works. And they're just nasty at every single position. And it's really, really weird watching a Minnesota United team not play Eric Ramsey ball. Like, I brought up New York Red Bull ball earlier and how it was constant pressing terrorism. That's what I saw when I watched Minnesota United last year, right? Very, very similar style of play of what we see from the traditional New York Red Bull teams. They don't look like that anymore, and they have the players that are supposed, like, that's what this roster was designed for. The Eric Ramsey designed this roster to play that way. And now they're trying to fit players that are not used to playing that way into that, like, that square peg into a round hole thing almost, right? As they try to come up with a new style of ball, a new style of play. Last year we talked about this on length when they grabbed Julian Gressel. We're like, okay, is Gressel and Wong, like, how are you going to find a way to put Wongi and Gressel on the pitch together, right? Because they are two of the most dynamic players on this roster now. And I don't think that Knowles has come up with a way to do that to this point, because you have Julian Gressel coming on and Wongi coming off. Like, they're coming on and off for each other. I still think, well, one, I'm going to say this. Thomas Shankale looks really, 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 really weird in the Minnesota United kit. I don't know if anyone's gotten a chance to watch them yet this year, but it's just a really, really, really odd pairing. But, I mean, we still know Yeboah is good, right? Pereira is very, very good. Like, there's a ton of talent on this team. They're going to be very good. Drake Callender, he's going to be fine, right? This is just a really good Nashville team. Really good Nashville team, yeah. I don't think we can truly judge what this Minnesota United team's floor is going to be until we see Hamas. Honestly, until you actually have a playmaker in there that is going to help carry the ball up the field, who's going to make that dynamic pass into the third to a Yeboah, who's actually going to get himself open because he's a freak athlete and he can make those runs, right? So I can hype up Nashville forever. I can say, oh, this loss is an indictment for Minnesota, but I just don't know yet, because they had a big signing this winter and he hasn't played yet. And he's going to make his debut this weekend against Vancouver, who he called Mueller's team. So in my head, for the rest of the year, Hamas doesn't know who Vancouver is, and they're now Mueller's team. But yeah, no, I think Nashville is going to be a problem for a very, very long time. They're just loaded, and I think Minnesota. Ask me in 2 weeks. Once I see 2 weeks of Hamas, I think I'll have a better idea of what they're going to be. Heck, ask me next week. He's been around long enough; he should be able to integrate to the squad pretty well. We'll know. We'll know within the first 30 minutes of the Hamas experiment whether or not this is going to work or not. I think.
My one Nashville mention here is on that shot from Sam Surridge. It repels off the goalie right into a Christian Espinoza, who ran for the rebound before the shot even went off. And so we talked a lot last year of how there's not that third option. Well, that third option is here. It's Christian Espinoza. And he's making that run, that late run, crashing the box off that shot. We never saw Perez do that. We never saw Kazum do that. We didn't see who was the other, Muyl do that. So very happy to see that third player, popping off for Nashville. Jeremy, Josh, do you guys have any thoughts on Nashville or Minnesota, or should we let Jeremy lead us off with DCU and Miami?
Do you have any Nashville thoughts or Minnesota thoughts, Joss?
No, I do not.
Okay, I have two quick ones. First one for Minnesota. Dominic Fitz is a healthy scratch. # noticing. The other one, and also just general Nectarios Triantis praise. He's probably going to be gone in the summer. He's very good. Nashville wise, they're beating Miami in CONCACAF over these next 2 weeks.
Ooh, let's go.
That should not be a hot take. That should not be.
I'm here for it.
They are simply at another level than this Miami team is right now. And I think I can use that to segue into this Miami DC game.
Well done.
Nice.
Let's take a look at another Miami game being played on a neutral field because for whatever reason this is exactly what happened with the Columbus game last year where they moved it to Cleveland. Cleveland, by the way, who just got a next pro team announced today. Congratulations to them. But
Ooh, they did it.
did Messi give Cleveland a next pro team? Huh? The most impactful player in Major League Soccer history, growing the game. Miami had a good, solid game in this. They also got outshot by like almost double. Like DC put 15 shots, Miami had 7. Little bit concerning, particularly because DC came out really strong in that second half, but that's also because Miami didn't really have to do much. They had a 2-goal lead at halftime, courtesy of Rodrigo De Paul with an excellent finish. And who else? The most, Jesus fucking Christ, Messi. Yeah, he scored in this. I really win. I put this game as my number 3, mostly because the glow from that Orlando game, that Orlando Miami game, still hasn't really worn off. And I also wanted to talk about DC United. So I'm not going to talk about Miami too much in this game. I'm going to talk about them in that Orlando game because there were some major weaknesses on display in that first half. And then they basically just said, we
Just
are
kidding.
Inter Miami, and just dogged their way and crapode their way a little bit into winning that game 4-2. God, that game was spectacular. I really, really wish we were able to talk about it last week because it seemed like every moment in that second half was like an instant meme for whatever reason, like from Tyrese Spicer just firing the ball over the bar to Messi just, to borrow Joss's Gen Z slang or Gen Alpha slang, I think it is, just mogging the fuck out of Orlando.
Until
And the
the
fans too.
That. However, I did want to talk about DC a lot because I do thoroughly enjoy what they're trying to build. My question is, where does Luis Montano fit in? What is he going to end up doing? When is he going to start a game? Because he hasn't done that yet.
I like him.
I like him too.
I think they're a better team when he's on the field.
Yeah, I think he should be starting. Peltola also, his improvement this year has been critical. Keisuke Kurokawa, I had a lot of praise for him after the first week. That praise was warranted.
Yeah.
That first week also they beat Philadelphia. They then proceeded to lose to Austin, and now they've lost to Miami. They play Chicago this weekend, and then they play Atlanta. I can see them putting like 3 goals past Atlanta at least one, because by that point you think Luis Montano's in the starting lineup. They are still very much on my keep watching them, keep holding some stock in them, because there's going to be some fun stuff that this team does this year. Also, Typo Rebo, 2 goals in 3 games. He scores wherever he goes. That's such a God. I love Cashfors. God, I love Cashfors. What a pickup! What a pickup! Proven MLS goal scorer, consistent, and he's picking up exactly where he left off on a significantly worse team than Philly was last year. So, congratulations to DC. I guess congratulations to Miami. Would be absolute box office if they got eliminated by Nashville in CCL, which is exactly why you have to root for it.
Outside the box office.
Correct.
But any other thoughts on DC Miami? I mean, the Miami. I wanted to say this because I'll save my Miami take because it kind of bleeds into my Philly take. But any takes from Shill or Josh?
No.
I thought like DC looked a lot better than I expected them to do against this Miami team, and that I was really impressed by that. So it was also very funny when MLS tweeted largest attendance in MLS in DC history, and then that wasn't true. Like DC had like pulled more for a game against Real Madrid. Just very funny. I know it was a friendly, so I know maybe that's where they're hitting that caveat, but still very funny.
Yeah. If I mean, and shitification of the league, right? Because I also saw they sent out a push notification of like Evander versus Josh Sargent happening now. I'm like, dude, Josh is not even Sargent's not even in the lineup. What is this push notification, man? Oh
Measures on
Lord.
the bench.
Yeah. Yeah.
They also tweeted the wrong "your" in a tweet. They put
Yeah.
like "YOUR" possessive.
And that's the worst of them.
The shield brain's trying to come up with a way to defend this, but you lost me at the wrong "your." Come on, Emma. I can't defend basic grammar. Come on.
You know it's bad when your agents can't even defend it.
When your industry plants.
Yeah, I mean, Shill's just collecting the check from MLS, guys. If y'all did,
And Box State Footy.
Well,
That's true.
Yeah, eventually. Let's. My one Miami point is that the Paul goal was straight out of a video game. Kind of, like, oh, I just have the talent to put this in the back of the net from here, and I'm gonna do it, and they did it. A team that had that a lot last year was Philly. And I think they've lost it. And I think that's because I look at this game, and this is my number one game of the weekend, final game of the slate that we are talking about here. Thank God no one had to talk about Houston or New England. That was a rough one. So eventually it'll be rescheduled, but that match did not happen. So Philly, San Jose Earthquakes. I definitely wanted to see what the hype was about the Earthquakes and about Timo Werner. And overall, I still think, Philly played their game. It's still Philly from last season, right? But I think they just have been unlucky. I think they expect to win instead of earning the win. And not to say, that they should have, won this match, because despite playing the Philly style, they're still missing quality. Giovanni Sequeira got his first start in the league, new fullback signing. He is not a Kai Wagner. There was some, misunderstandings of spacing as they try to find him to relieve the ball, and a lot of turnovers there. But I do quite like Sequeira. I do like his grit, his ability to get on the ball. Stanley Jean-Jacques, guys. I'm gonna point the finger at him for this just collapse from Philly. Timo Werner just finds Buddha, and Buddha calmly collects the ball in the box, scores on Andre Blake. It was the one goal that San Jose needed, but it wasn't like San Jose was really like implementing a particular style, right? They were just playing whatever Philly allowed them to, and this was an ugly match, guys. Like Philly want that ball back. You know what I mean? They're now not doing anything with it because they have Ezekiel Alida searching for any kind of penalty or any kind of reason to get bailed out of his rather weak hold-up play. I think Alida is in SpongeBob territory. I forget
Yeah. SpongeBob Big Guy Pants okay territory.
Yes, thank you. Man, that might just be the the episode title. But not impressed with Alida. I thought he was foul baiting a lot. Unethical. If they've had an unethical hooper in Joel Embiid for the longest time, they now have him in Alida in Philly. So, but yeah, I wasn't too impressed with San Jose. All I thought about San Jose is, wow, imagine if DeJuan Jones was on Philly. He would be the Kai Wagner replacement, because, man, is it so good to see DeJuan Jones again, man. He was injured for a lot of San Jose's season following Leagues Cup, so to see him, back in a role like this, I'm excited to see more of him. I thought he looked really good. Ronaldo Vieira, decent workhorse in the midfield as well. Sequeiras, they may need to get a 10, fellas. I don't know. I like seeing Sequeiras, but wasn't too impressed here. I think it is the Timo Werner show when it comes to these guys. I'll throw it over to y'all though, because those are my. I know we're in Philly collapse mode at this point. maybe I'll go to Joss, who has been waiting on this downfall for a minute now.
I actually wanted to talk about San Jose.
Go for it.
And I wanted to put my hands up and say, damn, Timo Werner, my bad, bro. You must have listened to what I was saying about you. Because he was really, really good in this game, and he was really, really good in his last game. And I was really, really wrong about him. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what's gotten into him, but for San Jose's sake, I'm happy for him. So yeah, I wanted to say apologies to Timo Werner, and for Philadelphia, I've said enough about what I think about Philadelphia. So I'll pass it on to Jeremy.
Good, because I have all the things I want to say about Philadelphia, and like none of them are good. They played Club America tonight. They lost 1-0 at home, which on the surface is a pretty good result against a team of that stature. They've scored 1 goal this season. It was a penalty from Indiana Vassilev. The fuck? I don't count what they did in CONCACAF against Defense Force.
Farmers' hands.
Yeah, legitimate farmers. Where even is that team from? FOTMOB doesn't have any info on it. I can't tell you. They basically beat FCS West.
The Sergi Salons of CONCACAF.
The Sergi Salons. Except Sergi Salons is like he's kind of a player. Here's my big issue with Philadelphia. Their winter recruitment, most of it's just been like, oh well, you didn't properly replace Kai Wagner, you brought in Alida. Like, are you guys forgetting that Milan Iloski was like historically good at goal scoring from a central forward role, playing as a striker? Yeah, it was in a 1. Play him in a 2. Literally play him in a 2 and get Kevin Sullivan on the pitch.
Sorry,
Why
buddy.
is it
Midfield
so
shifts.
hard? Well,
Midfield
why
shifts
is
for
it so
you.
hard? Why is he playing on the wing? It is stupid. It is unbelievably stupid. Get this man up top, put Anello out wide, see if Anello can do stuff out wide, because that's what I thought Anello was going to be. I thought he was going to be one of the wingers. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? It should not be pissing me off this much to see Philadelphia, a team who I objectively don't really like, mostly because of the sins of their chief soccer officer, which I feel like Ernst Tanner knows that the walls are closing in around him. So he's just trying to chase the rush of just selling everyone and trying to rebuild this team on the fly when he really didn't need to, because he can't stop running from the grind of the roster churn. Oh my fucking God, man. Oh my God. Like this is making me so annoyed. I agree with all of Juanners' points about Alida's foul baiting. I had higher hopes for him. Damiani this year has taken 4 shots in 3 games. 4 shots in 3 games. The fuck? Ugh. Like,
I love it, honestly. It's fine. It's fine.
oh my God. Like this is prime Carnell year 2 ball, and he's screwing it up by putting his most talented center forward that's currently on the roster, the one that could get him the most goals, sticking him out on the wing.
To be fair, Daniel went crazy. Not Shill.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel did go crazy. I feel like I should be a little bit more upset about like their defense, but I'm not really. Their defense wasn't the problem in this. It's their attack, and how do they create? Like, how much of this changes when Quinn Sullivan comes back? Probably a little bit, because he's actually a good player, but they got to wait a long time to get Quinn Sullivan back. By that point, they're going to be potentially spoon racing. And we went from the Galaxy winning the Cup to spoon racing last year. Eventually they recovered. Do you see a path forward for Philly? I don't really.
I mean, if Giovanni Sequeira is half the player of Wagner, they still need a lot elsewhere to really. I mean, I was upset by Danley Jean-Jacques honestly, on his on that giveaway. So if there's a Jean Jacques regression, if there's I mean, it looks like, I mean, when I'm looking at the G plus numbers here, when Frankie Westfield, who is your best player on G plus ratings, and he was barely even that much of a threat. Like there's a moment where he was pumping himself up after a big challenge, and then it's like, oh man, like there's still no motion within the rest of the team. Like it's just, it may be a spoon race. I have them. Where did I put them in? This is why I have them in 10th, and surprisingly, I have Atlanta ahead of them. So it's like, who do you guys see more better outlook for, Philly or Atlanta?
Philly.
Probably Philly.
Just because they still have their style, right? It's still identifiable.
Yeah.
I choose neither. I hate both of them.
Philly will be in the playoffs. I'm calling my shot now.
Okay. I'm sticking with Atlanta, dude. I'm sticking with Tata. I'm sorry. I'm falling for it again, fellas.
Don't apologize to us, bro. You're the one hurting yourself.
I don't need to. At least with Atlanta, I can look at them and I can be like, okay, like this. Like I feel very comfortable. Like nothing that Atlanta does is just like, oh, okay, like they're just gonna be ass like this. Like this is okay. Like this is just the knock-on effect from last year. Philadelphia did not need to do this. They absolutely did not. But Ernst Tanner got a little bit into the just one more rebuild, bro. Just one more, please.
Philadelphia GMs when they have to shoot their entire team because they're bored.
How nasty would the San Jose team be if they didn't make that silly little clerical mistake with Christian Espinoza?
Oh, true, dude. It's a damn shame.
Yeah.
Yep.
Although would Werner even be there? Would Werner even be there is the question.
Say again?
Would Werner even be there if Espinoza was? Who knows?
I think they signed him and then they lost Christian Espinoza, if I remember the timeline correctly.
Oh.
Right?
No, because it happened in the offseason.
Yeah, I think Espinoza left first. And they were still trying to get him back, too. So I think both of those things could have been done. The question is, like, is Hernan Lopez still taking up a DB slot?
Well, it's that, but there's also Joseph and Arango gone, too. Like, all within one little offseason there. It's interesting for San Jose. I'm still not sold on them, guys. I still think, I mean, I like what Timo Werner brings, but something about the team is still, I don't know. I'm still hesitant to see them really.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. I think they actually need to play a real team. No offense, Joss.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Can I make one comment on it?
Yeah.
For any of our like new Major League Soccer fans, like maybe you're new to soccer in general, what happened with Christian Espinoza is the equivalent of what the New York Giants did with Saquon Barkley. It just didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. Shills per tease right there.
You can't just put shill into every word, bro. I gotta put
Watch me. I could put shill into everything and every word. I'll get your house in 30 minutes.
Soliloquy was fire, though.
I don't want Shill to put anything in me, bro. That's what I'm afraid of.
I'm on my way.
I don't want Shill to be.
I'm on my way to Kansas City right now.
No, bro. I'm scared.
Well,
Soliloquy was good.
But before we wrap up, I just wanted to go through some of the Kickbase outside the box league. Jeremy got an easy dub over Apple user who is inactive. They only have Brian White and Messi. I'm gonna have to kick them and find a replacement. Maybe reset the league. I don't know. I floated that idea, but highest scorer of the match week goes to Logan. Shout out Loginho. He had players like Ferreira, O'Neal from that New York game, Eustachio. There's DeJuan Jones, Camacho, Klaus, Harrington. Some good picks there. Jeremy, you had Eustachio as well. Gozo pick, Triantis pick, Sakiris pick, Harrington pick. I think Harrington's very popular just because he's quite cheap. over to Joss's team. He's got Ingvartsen in there. Shout out to you picking out the true striker over there. Abu Ali let you down just as much as he let me down. And Biro with the red card. Oof on that one. I had Agamang, that own goal really, stumped me, but I had Holding, who had a very good game. I didn't talk enough about him. Hugman's son was my captain. He's been okay. Ojeda and Ferri. And we got to go to Shill's team, guys. It's the weakest of the four here on the panel. Your highest scorer was Palacios of Nashville. Then it was Falcone. Tag Seth with just an 85. But you got Talis Magno in there. Sean Johnson.
Hold on.
Rothrock Bassett didn't even play, and then a free throw off the bench came in and lost you 5
God
points.
bless the rains down in Africa.
You're talking that shit, and I appreciate you talking that shit, but Shill currently sits in 3rd place in this league.
Well, we're about to reset it, so it doesn't even matter.
Still the ball up. Shill plays down to his level, but he still gets the win.
Yeah, did you end up winning that one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I had to kick that one, too.
No, you played B-Dub, who had Zenge, Randell, Olivas, Neely, Murray, and Burton. None of those players who have ever played or started. And Alex Bono on the bench. So whoever – D-Dub had 7 players not show up. So maybe as simple as kicking both of those people out. Otherwise, the rest of the league looks very, very healthy, I think, guys. And yeah, download Kickbase. You can see my probable lineups on there and tell me how wrong I am that player is definitely not playing in that position. Even though, yeah, I think Shapi's a 10 now. So eat it. I will embrace Shapi 10 Elman. I couldn't do it. 10 Elmanov. I can't. Oh no, I lost it again. But
You can't make lightning strike twice, bro. It was Soliloquy, and that was it, dog.
Sule Tenov? I don't know. Sule, nah.
He's still trying, bro. We gotta put it down.
Where can they find you, Joss? They can find me just losing my shit here, but
yeah, you can find me taking Juanners to the retirement home. And then I'll be live tweeting about it on Off to See the Wizards on X, the everything Twitter, and then also on Instagram. Doing a lot of fun stuff for the KC World Cup. So, yeah.
Jeremy, where can they find you?
You can find me on Elon's Playground at Sports Guy Jeremy.
God, I gotta get off
I know
that shit now.
it sounded bad as soon as it came out of my mouth, but I'm like, fuck it, gotta own it.
Not your best.
By Jeremy on X, jeremyhuman.bsky.social on Bluesky. Can read my work at cascadiafc.com, where I wrote 7,000 words about the Timbers getting spanked by Vancouver for the 3rd time in the past 3 years. Some interesting analysis there, particularly a lot of Jesus Christ, what even is this press? And this is how you want to progress the ball. And yikes. Just general commiserations for another very bad data point in Phil Neville's case to earn another contract.
Uh-oh. He said it.
No,
Chill,
it's objective. It's objective. I have to be objective about it, and that's objectively the correct take right there.
Again, no Bonetig, no Chera, no Basset, no DeCoste.
No Basset.
Chill, where can they find you?
You can find me at Joss's house in about 22 minutes, where I'm going to fill him with as much chill as possible. You can also find me on Elon's sex dungeon at Box Pro MLS.
Don't say that.
At Box Pro MLS, you'll see me on there as Major League Chill. We have a lot of fun over there, fellas. Come hang out with us.
I locked the door, bro.
You can find me at Box State Footy on everything, at Juanners715 on X, Juanners.bsky.social, boxstatefooty.com. Tune into the newsletter. read the articles. There's God, right at the end too, outside the box, everywhere you get your podcast. Share it with your favorite soccer mom. Share it with your kit man, your local MLS kit man. Say, hey, you should listen to Outside the Box. Share it with your GMs. We're fielding hypothetical team applications here. So sure enough, we'll be behind the wheel of a team somewhere. If Erkut Sogut can author it, we could podcast it, guys. That's going to be it from us here at Outside the Box. Thank you guys for tuning back in, and we'll see ya when we see ya. Bye-bye.